sport fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Let's get straight into the episode.
Yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun.
Alright, before we start, I need to say something to you that I say to everyone that comes on, but I would not be saying it if it wasn't true. You're sitting here because I find you interesting. That's because you are an interesting person. I want to learn more about you, how you think, and how you feel. And I love that I have the opportunity to be able to share this experience. So I really appreciate you coming over. Thank you for sitting down. And ladies and gentlemen listening, he's tall, he's handsome, and if you can't find your missus, it's because he's got our attention, all right? And trust me, he's making his move. All jokes aside, I'm very, very excited to be sitting down with the third of the 4 skate dogs in a row so far. And I'm just very, very grateful to know this entire group, and I'm very proud to introduce him to everyone else. We call him Byron. For those who don't know, this is Byron Stanton.
Beautiful, beautiful. Nice intro, bro. Thanks for that. Make me sound better than I am. Beautiful.
Thank you. I felt good saying that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Good to be here, man.
Yeah, sweet. Sometimes, like, even like maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I was going through my intro and I'm just like, fuck, what is it? And I'm like, fuck, sorry, bro. Let me start that again. 4 tries, and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, I don't know my intro.
I don't even know my own intro, eh?
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I'm going to tell you a funny story, and it's a bit embarrassing, but you know,
They're the best.
as you came today, just 10 minutes ago,
Yeah.
I was in the shower, and I knew you were coming, but it was one of those situations where I had to take a shit, and then, like, you look and there's no toilet paper, and you're like, oh, fuck, I've got time. I'll fucking have a quick shower.
Shower now.
Bro, as soon as I get in the shower, knock on the door, my mum goes, Byron's
Someone's
here. I'm like, oh, fuck. But yeah, sorry I had to wait downstairs.
Oh, that's okay. No, I barely waited like 2 minutes, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, sweet. All right. Man, I don't even know where to start, bro. I didn't know how to start. And that's I've missed you.
Ah, thanks, bro. I've missed you too. It has been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a
It's
while.
been quite a while.
Yeah, who else has
busy.
missed you? Fossey.
Fossey, yeah. I haven't fucking seen Fossey in so long now, actually. Honestly, both of you boys I haven't seen probably same amount of time. It's been a long time.
He loves the Skate Dog episodes as well.
Does he?
Like,
Oh, that's
yeah.
sick, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, did you see the last one with Josh?
Yeah, I was I still got like 20 minutes or less of Josh, I think, to watch, and then I'll jump onto Zach's. Still haven't watched Zach's yet, but yeah, still got a bit to go.
Oh, I love him, bro. Like
They're
there was one clip in the Josh one. I swear to God, I've not laughed so hard ever editing any video
Yeah.
where he told me about the elephant and it cried.
Oh, yeah, dude. I didn't even see that. I was there at that time, and then he just looks at me, bro. Because he was having a great time this whole time. Smiles. We're all smiling like, fuck yeah, elephants. We're feeding them bananas and shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, bro, his face just drops, and he like looks at everyone, Alex, me, fucking Zach, and he's like, we gotta go, man. This fucking elephant's crying, eh? And I didn't see it cry. Like, I did see it get chained up, which was fucked up. It's pretty sad, but yeah, and then he switched that. He was like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then we just left. We went to Big Buddha.
Dude, he told that story better than I could have told a story.
He's good at storytelling.
That was great. I literally cried. At work, I'm just walking around at work. I've got the biggest smile on my face, and everyone's like, what are you smiling at? I'm like, you won't get it.
It's funny, yeah, when you you walk around either at work or if you're just shopping or something, and like your brain just drifts and goes and thinks about other things, and then you're just like smiling like a dickhead, like thinking, and then everyone else in public's probably looking like, what the fuck's this dickhead? What the fuck? But to you, you're just like, oh, this is awesome. You're feeling happy. You're like, that's right. That was funny.
Yeah, I'm singing it. Oh, raindrops keep falling.
Exactly. Yeah. Got that good song pumping.
Yeah, that's me, bro. Every hour of every day. Like, I'm such a drifter. Like, people catch me at work all the time. What are you thinking about? I'm like,
oh, fuck, you don't want to know.
Fuck if I even know. Like, I'm just thinking, bro.
Yeah. You can't help it, eh? Sometimes I'll just you'll just be walking around, and then I'll just have a memory of either Thailand or something that we've done together, and then I'll just get a big smile on my face. And there's this guy at work, his name's Alex, he's an Indian bloke. He always comes up to me, oh, why are you so happy? What's going on? It's like, bro, don't even worry about it. There's so much going on. Just remembering all the good times.
Yeah, you realise to explain it, it's like you're going back for your memory, and you're like, where do I begin?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, to even explain it, I've got to explain 6 other stories for you to actually laugh. So just don't worry, bro. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I was going to start with Thailand, but You just mentioned this guy from work, so we'll start with work. How's work going at the moment?
Work, yeah, it's going pretty good. Fucking been at the same place for 7 years now, eh? Fucking long time, fucking long commitment. But
For everyone who doesn't know, fabrication.
yeah, metal, same as Zach. Me and him. He actually got this. He got a apprenticeship at my work. Whenever he started his apprenticeship. So yeah, we both do the same trade. He started his own business, as you know now, but I'm still at the company.
Is that something that you want to do, or are you comfortable being an employee?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question, isn't it? I'm definitely comfortable being employed, but that's almost a trap. Kind of worries me, you know what I mean? If you get too comfortable, there was this great quote that was online where it's like, I'm gonna butcher it. It's gonna be hard to remember, but it's like, sometimes it's better to be in a shit position than a comfortable position, because if you're in a shit position, it's so bad that you're willing to change it. But if you're in a comfortable position, even though it's not quite what you want, it's still not shit enough to change, so you'll just be stuck there forever, sort of things like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm comfortable there, like I get a solid fucking paycheck, and I pay all my bills, pretty good pay, for me anyway. And, but I mean, I would like to start my own company one day. I even got a name, Stanton Steel.
Stanton Steel,
my last name's
Stanton Steel.
You know, stainless steel, Stanton Steel.
Yeah, I
It'd be
love
nice, but yeah, I'm just a fucking lazy cunt, eh? I gotta pull my finger out, and,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
grow-
it's like,
grow it.
part of it is like, you get to be a lazy cunt when you do it, you know what I mean? Like, I've been at this company for 8 months, maybe, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But before that, it was like a month and a half, 2 months on my own. And it was the best. I could just sleep in all day. I could make my own hours. It was so.
Yeah, it's cool though. Yeah.
Think about comfort being employed. Comfort being unemployed is so much more. You just give up the financial security for the.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the
for the
big step,
time.
right? The financial security is just like, oh fuck, you know, you got bills, you got fucking loans, this, that. So.
Yeah. But being an employee again now, I'm doing a short break. I love being an employee. It's just fucking. There's no stress. Especially not being the boss.
That's true. That's the big thing, right? You don't have any stress. Like even on Friday, I was at a job in the city. It's called for this rich people, so domestic. They're called the name's Yang Wang, or they pronounce it Yang Wang. The Chinese.
Yeah.
There's just all this mild steel fucking trims around this house and shit. And so yeah, I did that job or whatever, and then on Fridays we finish at 12, and so yeah, so it's probably like 12 exactly. So we finish and we're on our way back to the factory. We get a call from the project manager. Oh, fuck, man. This, that, fucking, we've got this job. It has to go at 2 o'clock. Go back to the factory, load up this dishwasher, fucking get back into the city. I look at my mate, his name's Wilfredo. He's a Colombian guy. He's a good bloke. He's driving because right now I've got my interlock. Fucking sadly, we can talk about that later. So he's driving and fucking, he's just like, because we finish at 12, it's already 1 o'clock. He's like, nah, man, I'm going back to the factory. I've got shit to do. I'm getting out of here. And, you know, I call the project manager. He's like, oh, fuck, man, I thought it'd be all right. He's stressed out. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's not, I'll go there, but, you know, I don't give a shit. So, yeah, it takes a lot of stress out when you're not the boss, eh? You just roll with the punches.
Oh, bro, 100%. Like, I went from project install supervisor. My employer was project manager.
Yeah.
He could just trust the job to get done with me and the boys underneath me.
Yeah.
But now I have a job runner and he was in my position and I can just get to work, bro. Like I can just show up. And we have a good system where it's like he doesn't mind if I'm 10, 15 minutes late. I'm not going to care if he's late. We'll just pick up each other's slack.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say half an hour late, an hour late. Like it doesn't matter, all right? We're a team. We work together.
Yeah.
And like I don't have a single worry. Like the other day I wanted to do one thing, but there was something else I had to get done. And I'm just like, nah, bro, I want to do the other thing, you know what I mean? Like, you will be right. You will be right.
Yeah, just
you know,
pass it on.
That's the freedom of being employee. I don't know if I'll go back to sole trader inside of my trade.
Yeah.
I'll be sole trader podcast. I'll be sole trader clothing brand, something.
Yeah.
But I'll always be employee for my trade.
Yeah. It's just comfortable, eh? When you're the employee as a thing. You know, you don't have to worry about too much. And then, like, if a job gets fucked up, you go. You know, you just kind of like step back.
Like the Simpsons Homer Simpson into the bush.
Yeah, 100%. You just fucking fade away. Yeah. It's good like that, you know, because when you're the boss, like if a fuck up happens, it's like straight out of your pocket. You know what I mean? You're like fucking cunt. But if a fuck up happens and you're an employee, you're like, it's not good, but sorry. Yeah, exactly. You just put your hands up. Sorry, man. I'll try better next time.
Yeah, I know. And I've fucked up everything.
Oh,
bro.
dude, but that's how you learn, bro. If you haven't fucked it up, you're not gonna learn, bro. 100%. Like, I like to think I'm a pretty good tradesman, especially now after 7 years. But like, the only reason I'm any good is because I fucked so much, dude. I fucked it all.
That's
I fucked
amazing,
it all,
bro.
and then like you've had to fix the fuck up, which is even worse sometimes. Oh, and then so you learn, bro. Because next time you're doing the same job, you're like, I'm not going through that hell again.
Yeah.
I'm fucking doing everything I can, even if it takes me twice as long, bro. I'm not doing what I did last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just learn.
Mad.
You just learn from your mistakes.
I think that's a very common thing for like our age generation. Like, you learn from your fuck ups. I feel like the older generation, they don't say that to me. They don't say, I'm as good as I am because I fucked it all up. But I'm always telling the apprentices that. I'm always saying to the apprentice, do it. And if they say, oh, I'm scared,
Well,
what if I fuck it up? I'm going to be like, you will fuck it up. What if I fuck it up? Fucking don't fuck it up, you fucking useless cunt. But you're going to fuck it up. Right? And then you won't fuck it up next time.
You know what was pretty good? I remember one time, like when I was learning to weld, there was this tradesman at work, Junior, his name was, a big Islander guy. He doesn't work there anymore. But one of the best things he said to me, I reckon, I remember I was welding a wet edge. So it was just this little fold that you fold up. Anyway, you weld it and then you polish it flat. And I was still learning how to weld, and I remember he was teaching me this exact step. And I was like nervous, and I'm saying to him, like, bro, what if I fuck it up? Like, what if I just completely fuck it up? Like, not confident at all. And he just like looked me in the eyes, like, mate, whatever you fuck up, I can fix.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was just like, bro, as soon as he said that to me, I just didn't, like, zero cares. All right, fuck it. Just go at it. And then, and it turned out all right. It turned out like a good weld. But like, I think that helped a lot. He's like, bro, don't stress about fucking up. Even if you do, I'll fix it. We've got this, you know what I mean? Just try your best.
Yeah.
And I think that was that was a good thing.
Yeah, right. That's something I definitely heard a lot from my apprenticeship that has now become something that I'll say to the younger generation too. I'll say, because in reality, and you know, being a young, experienced tradie like myself, you know you're not going to give the work away to someone that can't get fucked up. You're only going to let them do something that they can afford to fuck up so you can go ahead and fix it.
Yeah, that's right.
If it's like an important, expensive piece, one-time try, no apprentice is going to be left to the job to do it. That's just idiotic, you know what I mean?
That's right, 100%.
So you're only giving them jobs as an apprentice. For any apprentice listening, you're only giving the job because that's not important.
Exactly
you know?
right, bro. I hate when I see videos now where apprentices are entitled and shit, and they're just like, fucking, I should be doing this. And it's like, shut the fuck up, bro. You're literally on $12 an hour because you're the shittest kicker. Just wait until you're a tradesman, then you can start demanding shit.
Yeah.
Until then, bro, get on the broom, fucking clean up after the tradesman. Like, that was something that, honestly, it was like the best learning experience for me, was just not fucking taking charge and just literally like setting up for the tradesman to do, you know what I mean? So like, you literally like, instead of trying to be like, I should be welding, I should be fucking installing this, just get that chip off your shoulder. You're the apprentice right now, fucking get the tools out for him, unpack the tools that he's going to need for that job. So that in itself is a good learning experience. If you're like, oh, he's got to go weld that bench, unpack the tools. Oh, he's going to need the welder. He's going to need the plenishing hammer. He's going to need a weight to hit the fucking shit up. You know what I mean? So you're already planning out what that job entails.
Yeah.
So when it is your turn as a tradesman to do it, you already know how to set it up. You know what I mean? It's just like, don't take on too much as an apprentice. You know what I mean? Just live with your shitness for now, and you're rising the ranks. You know what I mean?
I had that as an apprentice. I was always like, let me just cut myself off. I'm going to slow this fan down. There's these dogs next door that they bark.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it to Josh. Like, I hope my neighbours aren't watching. I'll fucking murder them.
They die. Yeah,
that was rough.
I watched that back and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't put that in. Nah, fuck it.
Put it in. Put it in anyway.
They will go off, so I'll turn it off. I'll shut the window when they go off. I remember being an apprentice and like thinking, like, it's like in the beginning, you're like, I get paid the least amount of money, but I'm doing the most work. I'm the one that runs around the side. I'm the one that fucking does this and that.
Yeah.
It feels that way. But then when you think about the fact that an apprentice used to have to pay for their trade like 50 years ago.
I didn't even know that, did they?
That's what it was. An old man would pay a tradesman money to teach my son your skills. That's how apprenticeship started in the beginning, and that's why we have so much apprentice rights, because it comes. If you think about, I'm just realizing this. When you think about anything that has the most amount of rights, like the women's movement, Black Lives Matter, and any type of indigenous or immigrant status, it's because they come from the worst background in society. Like they used to have the least amount of rights.
Get shit on,
and the pendulum's kind of swung from far left to far right.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
That's probably why apprentices have the most rights now, because they had the least amount.
Yeah, they were just the shit kickers, the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, well, hold on.
Yeah. So when you think about the fact that you used to have to pay for your trade, and now you're getting paid. You're actually getting paid to do all the bullshit, the cleaning, the sweeping, the unloading.
That's why I say, like, fuck, dude, if you're an apprentice, you're getting paid to do the shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting incentivized, and like your TAFE's getting pretty much paid for you, like all that shit. Just fucking use a broom, bro.
Yeah.
Use a broom.
Yeah. And it's like I've gotten to a stage now where I'll say to my apprentice, like I almost feel bad asking him for so much shit now, but that helps me be a better tradesman. So instead of being like, go get me this, go get me that, go get me that, now it's like, I'm going to get everything I can possibly get. I'm even faster than this kid. So what's the point of saying, go get me this? I'll just drop what I'm doing, run and go get it, run back.
I'm a little bit like that as well, but I think, to be honest, I reckon it's a little bit detrimental. So like, this is just the way I feel. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit too nice and a little bit too baby city. Like, I'll have the same thought. Like, I'll be like, I just need the apprentice to go fucking deburr this ankle. It's so simple. Anyone could do. And it's like, oh, but you'll fuck it up. You'll fuck it up. I'll just do it. But then that's bad, because then he never tries it. And like we were just talking about, you have to fuck it up. If you don't fuck it up, next time you're doing it, you're not thinking about what you fucked up.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if that you're better and faster, and it's going to take longer to get them to do it, it might be better just to get them to trudge through it and hopefully learn from something. You know?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. But when it comes to I'm talking about the shit, like this battery died. Can you go swap this out?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just go do it, because I know I can't actually do anything until I get a new battery.
True.
So that's the type of things I'm trying to avoid. Myself becoming lazy and using the fact that I have an apprentice to get me my shit.
Actually. Yeah,
because my last company, there was a hierarchy, a massive hierarchy, where it's like, to be honest, it was, even if you come to the company as a tradesman and there's a second year apprentice, that second year apprentice has got more authority than you. Like, it was really weird. It was almost like time served.
Yeah, time served.
Because the company was built on relationships with the boss. That's how it really was. So
I think a lot of places are kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, if you got a good relationship with your boss, you get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if a tradesman came and I was a fucking third year, second year, whatever it was, it's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like,
yeah.
So you learn how to, on your own, which is important, you learn how to bite your tongue and accept wisdom as it comes to you, not as authority.
Yeah.
Which is one good skill. But the bad skill we learnt there was, like, the boss would say, Doxy, I need you to fucking unload the truck. And I'll look at Fossey.
Hey,
You
bro.
heard him. And Fossey will go, George. You know what I mean? And
that's a bit.
the boss, me and Fossey would all do nothing.
Everyone's just offloading
We
to
do
someone
nothing while this kid unloads the truck by himself. Because the boss doesn't care. It's getting done. We've just delegated it down the line.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't wait for a new kid to start, you know? But then at my new company, when I got there, I was expecting to be like, shit kicker again. I even said to the owner of the company, I'm like, I'm not excited to come be a shit kicker again. I don't even know if I want to come. Like, I'm pretty comfortable being at the time was top dog at the company.
But it's hard to go back down once you've already ascended, eh?
But I ended up saying I'm willing to accept it for now and then work my way back up. But then when I got there, I noticed day one, it was not, go get me this, go get me that, do this. It was like, they actually had the trust to be like, can you do this and let me do it? But then at the end of the day, all 4 tradies picked up a broom at the same time. All 4 tradies packed up their own shit. And that's something I'd never seen before.
It's pretty good, eh? It's inspirational to see someone that's a bit, you know.
Right. The tradies now that are the oldest and the most experienced are the hardest workers. And that's, to me, like, that's how it should be. That makes sense, you know. But it was never like that before. The most experienced does the least amount of work. But now the most experienced does the most. Not only does he do all the hard shit, but he also does all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Because he's just gained more tasks instead of offloaded more tasks.
I think that's just like a little bit of human nature, eh? Like, the tradesman's got like the most experience, so that's how he's got his like level of authority. But now he's using his level of authority to offload the bullshit. Yeah. You know? So it's just people kind of do that.
Yeah. But I'm loving being now it feels like a team. Instead of like you have your workers or you have the hierarchy or your system, you have a team. Everyone's equal. Everyone's the same.
That's good.
Like no one, and I would recommend that's how every tradie should operate. Do the shit that you don't want to do just as much as the shit you do want to do. Like apprentices are not really there to do the shit you don't want to do. They're there to make your life easier not make your life lazier.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100%. I mean, to some degree, like I can like with the battery example, I can see like because you're obviously on like 30 something an hour, fucking almost 40. You know, you're a tradesman.
I'm on good money.
Exactly right, especially with penalty rates and everything.
Yeah.
So you're on good money. Whereas the apprentice, $12. So it's like, if there is something like if your battery just ran out and you can put that down and like I don't know, go do something else, and then just send the apprentice, it makes sense because it's $12, or it's going to cost $30 to get a battery. You know which one's which, but like. At the same time, you don't want to be the tradesman that's just being a lazy cunt, going, you do this, you do that, fucking, just being a shit kicker.
Like old school fridgies in my supermarket industry, they would drop off the apprentices and then go to the pub. That's
you can't be fucking doing that,
that was
that
was the whole industry. That's how it ran for 20 years. 20 years it worked, and then they'd come back and they'd kick and scream and they'd carry on.
How iconic the pub is to the trades, eh?
Yeah.
Did you used to go to the pub at lunchtime at TAFE?
TAFE, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah,
It's
dude.
funny,
Fuck yeah.
I can't believe how like laid back TAFE was,
Yeah.
honestly. Every lunchtime I'd be finished, it'd be like an hour, like breaks like half hour or 45 minutes or something, and you finish like an hour and a half before, and then they're just like, just go on early lunch. And you're like, straight to the pub, let's go, I'll have a slab, have 2 schooners, you're like, fuck. I have one more. I've got another hour.
Punch a couple billies in the car.
I remember one time,
tank.
dude, everyone was punching billies in the fucking car park at TAFE.
Yeah.
And I remember one time the teachers, the teachers always knew, but then they caught on this time specifically. And then they were like, bro, the police are coming now. They're going to drug test you all, eh? Everyone's getting drug tested. I shit you not. Out of a class of about 16, 20, so say it's a class of 20, 16 people left. I was 1 out of fucking 4 people left. The cops came. They didn't even drug test us. They just go, boys, drugs are bad. Fucking, if you do drugs all the time, you'll turn into a loser. Yeah, cheers, bro. We know.
Fuck off.
I swear to God, bro. But it's so funny seeing every cunt leave. Because, like, I remember this one guy. His name was Ben. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Ben Rainbow.
Yeah.
Fucking, he loved doing drugs at TAFE. Eh? He did acid at TAFE one time.
Yeah.
That's the worst idea.
Yeah.
Bro, doing acid at TAFE. Like, one, you've got teachers looking at you and shit, so you're always fucking, you're always a bit sussed. And then, like, all the boys knew he was on acid, so just teased the fuck out of him, you know what I mean? Just fucking scaring him left, right, and center.
Yeah.
It's funny how crazy, like, tradesmen love drugs, eh?
Bro, it blew my mind going from being a kid, being a teenager, because it's a bit different for me too. I went to a private school for like, from probably like 13 to 16. So the years where you're meant to be fucking discovering yourself, I was surrounded by amazing lads. I love the boys. I still love them all. But then the whole scenery wasn't like parties, drugs, alcohol, this shit. You slowly got into alcohol, and then by the time you're like, you weren't really doing caps and shit, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't know anyone your age doing that shit. My public school mates, like, a lot of them fucking had MDMA going through their friend group at 14, 15.
Yeah,
shit.
it's crazy.
And I'm like, that's fucking wild. So it blew my mind to become an adult at the age of, say, 16 to 18.
Yeah.
And then realize every adult does drugs.
Yeah, that's the biggest, weirdest thing, right? Because, like, the first time you try them, you're like, fuck, I'm a fucking...
Yeah,
God, I'm one of these guys now.
I'm a bad
and then as you grow up
person,
a little bit, you start talking to more and more people that you would look at and go, this cunt's never even done drugs, and it's like, I love drugs. It's weird, you know what I mean? It's crazy how many people actually just,
I know.
And
it's
delve
like,
into it a little bit at least.
Weed is one of those things where it's like it is very large from the age of, say, 12 to 30. But then it starts to, like, slow down a bit. But it blew my mind, cocaine. Cocaine is the one thing that blew my mind. Like, especially real estate. I know dozens of people in real estate. They're the worst. They're all fucking charging all the time.
And, like, fucking, like, journalists and news agents, bro.
Yeah.
Big time, dude.
Lawyers, like, fucking...
Anything on a bit of money, eh?
Anything on...
It. But that's funny you saying that. It's so popular, but I'm pretty, like... I don't use coke, really, but, like... I'm pretty sure Australia has like the worst coke in the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's always
we're the cocaine capital of the world.
Sorry,
we're the cocaine capital. We have one of the highest usages, the highest paid bag.
Yeah, but the shit is quality, right?
The shit is quality.
It doesn't make sense, eh? Yeah. We're all just fucking fiends, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Just cokeheads.
We're the cone capital. We're the cocaine capital.
We're everything.
We're the pokey capital. We actually gamble
we're the gambling
the
capital.
Most amount of money out
in
of
the
any
world.
country. Like,
right, yeah.
So
it's because we're like one of the only countries where gambling is like fully legal.
Yeah.
Like even in America, the whole of America, one state, Vegas. That's the only state it's legal. You know what I mean? You can only go play slot machines in Vegas.
Yeah.
Here, Mate, in fucking Colleton, they're earning like a fucking million a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just down the fucking road in my suburb.
I've probably got, in a 5-minute radius from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 pokey rooms, and each of them would make $1 million.
And each of them are full all the
Yeah.
time. It's crazy, eh?
You know, we don't actually, no pub survives off the food and alcohol. We only survive off the pokey
gambling?
room.
Yeah,
We actually serve
sense.
food at the pokey venues.
Well, that's why if you go into the poker machine, they're giving you free drinks, they're giving you free little snacks and shit, because
Yeah.
they're like, fucking spend $2,000 on Big Red, and
Yeah.
we'll fucking make a bit of money.
Yeah. The bistros, all that shit doesn't cover, nothing, it doesn't get covered.
No way.
It's only the pokies that offset the rest of the venues.
Well, they make so much off pokies, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's funny that, I always hate how, like, it's such a big industry, and, like, it's so fun, and then, like, you go play the pokies, and they've always got these little cards as, like, should you be stopping now? It's like, you don't want me to stop.
I know.
You want me to spend more, you know what I mean? You're only writing that little message because you have to,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
it's
You want
standard.
me to be addicted.
Yeah, and they don't work. I'm notorious for being a pokey addict. Like, I
love
can't
pokies. Who doesn't?
stay away from them. I did fucking 6 months of not doing it, and then the last 4 weeks I've probably gone, say, 6-7 times.
Oh, really? Right.
But now I've cut it out again.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks now. But I'm going to stick to this. I just can't help it anymore. If I have cash now, I have to fucking go slap
No
it.
way. Yeah, I've never been like that.
Yeah.
I do love the pokies.
And the problem was my bank card stopped working. First, I lost my card, so I had all this cash and I couldn't put it in the bank because I'm always at work. So I never had time to go to the bank. And then when I finally got my card back, I went to go use it and it doesn't work. So then I'm like, oh, I remember one time I had $1,500 and I was like, I got to go to the bank with this cash. I got to go to the bank. This is last week. And then I went, no, this is this Thursday.
Oh.
So I went with my card, I put it in, it was like, can't read card. So I went to the next machine, can't read card. And I'm like, looks like I'm going to the pokies tonight.
Oh, no.
Luckily, I fucking slept through it.
It's bad, eh?
Like,
Yeah.
the boys went and I was asleep.
Nice.
So luckily, and then I just had to decide, how about I just go spend this cash on shit that I need?
That's probably better.
And then, yeah. Because, like, I'll never take money out of my account anymore for
good.
pokies. That's my fucking line in the sand.
That's good. That's good.
But if I have the cash, it's almost like it's free money. It's it's cash, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit the other way. Sometimes you'll just get like, I'll look at my account and I'll be like, fuck, I've got like $800 more than I should.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should just go put 800 in Big Red. You know, you get that little
Yeah.
intrusive thought, you know, and you're like, oh, what if I win like 15,000, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're scrolling through fucking social media.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright, the stress.
You just get those intrusive thoughts, and then like you'll be watching like fucking social media, and like some cunt's just done like a $50 bet and just won the fucking minor, the major, and you're like, oh, it could be me. I've never actually won anything like
Dude.
properly. Like the most I've ever won is like I've only ever had luck with Big Red, and it's only been like $400 I've won, you know, what I mean? Which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah.
Dude, I had $200 like 4 weeks ago. And I was like, well, I'm obviously going to fucking play the pokies with it.
yeah.
I ended up winning say I won 1,000.
Yeah.
And then I
That's good
fucking
shit.
change machines, win another 1,000.
Yeah, fuck,
Go
no
lose
way. I've never been
1,000.
that lucky, dude.
Go win a $900 feature, gamble it, now another 1,800. Cheap change machines. Bro, I left that night with over 7,000. Right? And I'm just like, fuck.
How, bro?
And it's like, I've got to put this in the bank or it's over.
Yeah,
3 weeks later,
it's over.
gone.
It's gone.
It's gone,
Yeah. It's funny. It's so hard to make money, but it's so easy to spend money.
Yeah.
Obviously.
well, me and Fossey, we talk every morning for fucking our whole lives. We talk on the phone. And we discuss one of the main things is how gambling, especially pokies and sports bet, it devalues money. Devalues it. Like when you think of fucking something being worth $200-$300, you're like, that's fucking a bit of coin. That's a lot of money. But when you think about the pokey room,
That's actually such a good point, bro. 100%. Like I never even thought about it like that, but I definitely think like that.
yeah,
Like $300?
That's
That's
a
so
lot.
much money, bro. Have you ever spent $300?
Yes.
You spend $300 and you're like, fuck,
yeah.
fuck.
Imagine
I'm
$300
poor
on a
now.
dinner.
But then you win 300 on the pokies and you're like,
Yeah.
better put 200 back in to get 5, you know? You know, it just, you're right,
You
dude.
see the 300 that you win, you're like, well, it's not even real.
It's only, yeah. This doesn't count. Technically, I only got 100 out of my bank. So this 200's not real. Better put it back in, you know? Yeah, it's fucked, eh?
But then, like, let's just say a number like $500, which we've all fucking gambled 500 and hated our lives for.
100%.
If you think about going out for a nice dinner with your friends, imagine each of you spent $500, right?
dude.
And you had like one of those charity
Living like
10-course meals. Like all the money's going to a good place. You get treated like a royalty, and you have memory that will last forever. Even if it's one of those experiences, like they have some where you have to wear a blindfold or it's a dark room and you don't even get to see your food. You just get to taste every course.
I'd be sussed out by that.
And you guess what it is. Like something like that, it's an experience. Even without the blindfold, like that night would be a great night.
Yeah.
You've donated the money, but no one's gonna do that. It's
That's
$500.
That's right.
But $500 for some rich
pokies.
cunt to take your money for you to have 15 minutes of fun.
Yeah, it's true.
For some
right?
reason, it's like it's nothing.
It's true. It's fucked up.
It's just all concept of logic for money goes out the window. So, and you know what's worse is that 99% of all the pokies in Australia is owned by one guy.
Is it? Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, of course.
So think
And
about.
I bet
how
he's
that
the
guy
richest cunt in
lives.
Australia too.
Yeah,
he's
not even one of the rich. He's not even one of the richest. Actually.
Really?
There's way richer.
And you own the fucking pokies, and you're not even on the board.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
How many fucking evil billionaires are there?
I know. Well, you know, each pokey is $250,000 rent a year.
Right.
Each
Yeah, but
for
they
each venue.
make like
Yeah.
$1 billion a year.
Yeah,
Each
yeah,
one,
yeah.
or some crazy shit.
Well, think about Panthers. That has, what do you reckon, 1,000 pokies? So it's 1,000 times 250,000. That'd be
But
like
Penrith, you go in
25
there even at like
billion.
4 a.m. Everyone that's drunk's gone home or been kicked out, and then you've still got like all the Chinese people playing like
Yeah.
all day long, and you're like, fucking hell.
It's so sad.
So
eh?
you're spending so much.
I know.
So much. We've got this guy at work. His name's Trung. He's Vietnamese. He's
Mm-hmm.
the polisher. Sick bloke. And he loves the pokies a little bit too. You can tell. Anytime I win anything, I go over to him. Trung, look what I did, and he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell when he goes out and he'll win on the pokies or he'll win on the tables because he won't come in the next day at work.
Yeah.
And then he'll go a couple of days without coming in, and then he'll come back in. And all of a sudden, he's like, I used all my spendings now. You can tell he's taking the days off because he's won, and yeah, people just love it. They get so addicted.
I know.
I can see why though. It's I'm not judging. I could definitely be in their position,
Yeah.
100%. Like
Well, to be honest, I am judging, but it's only because I'm putting myself in the same boat.
I'm judging hard.
I'm judging myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not excluding myself from that thing,
Yeah.
you know? Which I think it's... Bro, even I said this on the podcast before, but even when I was smoking cigarettes, I'd look at people that smoke cigarettes, and I'm like, you smoker. Like, you joker.
Yeah, yeah. Pull one out. yeah.
When I'm looking at this guy, I'm also smoking, and I'm like, disgusting.
It's funny, yeah. No, I do the same thing with like weed. It's like you
Yeah.
fucking little stoner cunt. You get nothing done, do you? And, you know, like full hypocritical as. But it's because I'm putting myself in that category. I think
Yeah.
about that about myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're not doing
Yeah.
anything with your life. It's
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, I know.
It's easy.
I spoke with Josh about edibles, and I
Yeah.
was saying, ever since that combo, now I'm like a little bit incisive to try them again. I still have to wait.
You got 7 months, bro.
I still have to wait my fucking 5 more months before I can try it. But maybe I will. But before, like, smoking on the other hand, like, I don't know if I'm going to do it again, bro.
Yeah.
After this long, it's too scary, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
After this long of not smoking, one drag of a fucking joint, and I'm like,
It's good.
everyone get the fuck out.
Good.
I don't know who the fuck thought that, but get the fuck out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm freaking out. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know. But most drugs anyway, like especially, as we were speaking about cocaine, I think it's not worth it for me to do it anymore just because of how scary. Have you heard about fentanyl?
Yeah, of course. Everyone's
yeah.
dying. All the rappers die from fentanyl.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, every single one of them.
And now it's getting so mainstream inside of drugs.
Yeah,
now.
I've only ever done like coke once, maybe
Oh, really?
twice. Yeah, and I don't know. Like, obviously, it was good at the time, but I don't know. Yeah, I never really got. I think as well, maybe just because it's got such a high price range, it was like,
Yeah,
if
it's
you
not worth
compare like $300,
Yeah.
and you get this goodness for 10 minutes. Or like $20, and you get this goodness for fucking 6 hours. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's like I don't know. It was never really my thing.
Yeah. Well, that's another one of those things though that devalues money. When you have started to pay for them, and you only have $500 a week, and you're spending $250 on a bag, you learn how to budget your other $250.
Yeah, that's right. So you're like,
You
yeah,
just devalue that $250 every time you
it's-
buy a bag.
It fucks you up.
And then the last person I just had on, which is going to come out in our time tomorrow, for everyone listening, it was last week. If you haven't watched the episode, watch the episode. Is my mate Sahil. And he just got out of jail. Yeah, you've met him. I remember now. But yeah, he just got out of jail for 14 months because he was fucking snorting and selling way too much drugs. And we were saying on that episode, like, it's crazy how much drugs we've consumed in our lives. But I think of it as if, like, how much money have I spent on drugs?
Yeah,
Like, that's
true.
what's fucking
That's
scary.
the scary
bro.
part. It's like I've spent like some people's fucking whole yearly wages
I know.
just on drugs.
I can't even imagine what my mates, Sahu would have spent. Like, I'm talking, bro, it was like, let's just say $1 million, right? Wouldn't be surprising if that's how much money he'd spend.
That's insane. I don't think I've earned $1 million in my life, bro. You serious?
Well, he was
That's fucking
selling.
insane.
He was
Yeah,
selling.
obviously. Yeah, I know.
And like, he's only selling so he could snort.
Yeah. It's funny how many like dealers that's their motive, hey?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like that's the reason, but that's kind of the reason people start dealing anyway.
That's
Because
exactly
they can't
it.
afford to keep getting on
They
it.
just want to, they want to sell so they can pay for their own habit, and then and then their habit grows, so then their dealing grows, and then all of a sudden,
It's crazy.
it goes out of control, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. He said, I'm only going to say this story because he said it, and so it's already come out, and he said it's fine to say. But he ended up getting caught because there was this guy who was constantly buying an ounce of rack and an ounce of MDMA every week. And
Fuck.
he would give him $30,000
Fuck.
every week.
Fuck, dude.
And I know him, and at the time, that was not a crazy transaction for him. That was like just one of those things that he goes do on his own.
chump
Instead of
change.
sending someone else to do it, he'll be like, it's a bit of money, I'll go do it.
Wow.
Not like, fuck.
Yeah, I need to get together 30 grand. Bro, that's crazy. I've never once had imagine 30 grand in cash, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like, I can't even imagine that. What's that, like a stack like this?
If it was hundreds, you'd be surprised. It probably
Like,
wouldn't be
little.
more than
but
that
like
big.
50s, you reckon? Like
50s, especially with the old 50s, like, bro, it could be like that big.
yeah,
Stack of 50s.
like a massive stack.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, he that guy ended up being an informant. That guy who he was selling to. So he was dressed up like a lad, spoke like a lad, drove
Wasn't
a
a
fucking
lad.
lad's car. He was a cop. Well, it wasn't. It was actually technically a guy who had been caught before. Who was trying to reduce his own
So
sentence.
he's like an informant. Yeah,
full informant,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get you.
Full piece of shit guy.
Yeah, dog. Like fuck you, cunt.
But I also said to him, I was like, I could see how you could end up being that person. Imagine you copped like a 30-year sentence, bro.
Well, that's fucking 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Heaps of cunts. You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's heaps of people you don't know that have probably done it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Even in real life.
If I was 6ix9ine, I would have done it. I know his story. I
I don't really know his story,
He-
but I mean, like, fuck.
he was hanging out with this gang, and then the gang he was like the bitch of the gang. Like, even though he was making the most money, he was hanging around people to get the credit, but those people were like, fuck his missus. They'd steal from him.
Yeah. He was the typical.
He was the guy that was just getting picked on.
Yeah.
So then when he went into jail for something that he didn't actually do, they framed him. He's like,
Nah.
fuck you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have
You
done
see,
that.
he got like jumped recently.
Yeah,
Like, a couple
yeah, in
weeks
the
ago.
gym, yeah.
Yeah, in the gym.
Yeah, I know.
You kind of feel bad for the guy.
I
eh?
do,
A
I
little
do.
bit. I do.
But at the same time, he is only getting jumped because he's painted an image to get himself so successful because he could get
That's
jumped.
That's true. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he is kind of like living a lie, right? He always was like, yeah, I'm this big bad fucking gangster.
Yeah.
It's like, no, mate, you're just hanging out with gangsters that are fucking your missus.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
Are you really cool? Not really, bro.
He has this lyric. I like listening to his music. He has this lyric that's like, police pull upon you. Police pull upon me. I don't know what happened. Police pull upon you. You're gonna get the yapping. And I'm
Complete
like,
reverse,
I'm
eh?
like, well, that didn't last. That's fucking.
It's so
fucking
easy to
dickhead.
cap in your rap, say.
Yeah, I know.
So easy.
I know. I got mates that are making like music on SoundCloud and shit. They always ask me to come jump on a track. I think to myself sometimes like,
What am I gonna say?
what am I gonna say? Like, I can't be like, oh, I'm a sick cunt. Is that? It's like, I don't do anything like that.
I think it's more of an art form, bro. I reckon, like, because you can say you're a sick cunt 100%. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
being a bad cunt, like
Yeah,
selling drugs
true.
and bashing people. That doesn't mean you're sick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's an art form. Like, if you can rap about your podcast and about how interesting all the people you meet are and how like your view on life is, that's
True.
That's a sick rap.
That's true. It
You
is
know what I
art
mean?
like that.
It's just
Yeah. I got it in my head that it's all drill and
It
it's all
can't. Yeah,
this and
no,
that.
that's just like what's popping at the
Yeah.
moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if that's not you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just an art form to express yourself. You know, so
You're right. It would be cool to be a rapper. Would you ever be a rapper?
I think about it. I've got no skill though. I've got no fucking lyrical skill at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like the boys like rapping and shit, and we've had some freestyles and shit, and like we've probably done like 1,000 freestyles, and like out of those 1,000 freestyles, I've maybe said one bar. So, it's not
And
for
that
me.
one bar though.
That one bar, I
Ooh.
still think about at night times. I still think, fuck yes, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, not my
Yeah.
forte. I wish it'd be nice.
It would
It'd
be cool.
because you listen to rap and you're like you can relate to it. And you're like, fuck yeah, this is
Yeah.
sick. I'd love to be saying this shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'll put on a freestyle.
Yes.
Put on a freestyle. You can't. You just
Yeah,
mind blank.
Yeah,
you know. You
yeah.
Just,
Or you say the same 4 words that would always pop into your head every time you go to start, and you're like, ah,
yeah.
fuck, I'm over it. 4 words, and you're like, I'm over it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You have so much confidence listening to these raps, and you get home, you put on a beat, and you're like, yeah, those 4 words you say, and you're like, all right, I'm shit. Turn it off. Turn it off. I'm done.
Well, I have one type of music playlist that I only listen to so I can pretend I'm the person singing it on stage.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
there's just some songs that just hit me like fucking. Trying to think of one, like maybe like "Congratulations" by Post Malone.
Love
right?
that song.
Like,
I know word for word
yeah,
that song. 100%.
perfect
Who
song.
doesn't?
How can you not pretend it's you just on stage, just like you just like this is I made it, you know?
How can
I
I make sense when I got millions on my mind? Oh, bars, bro. It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so good.
Yeah, there's some songs where I'm listening to, I'm like, you know what? Today's the day.
Yeah.
That
Isn't
is
it
the
crazy how powerful music is sometimes?
Yeah.
Like, you can be feeling anything. You can be feeling shit or fucking happy or sad, and then the music that you're listening to can completely change that
Yeah,
feeling just
yeah.
straight away, just like a switch.
Or you can dive deeper into your own emotion by putting on that music. you know?
Yeah, and relating yourself to the song. It's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
Sometimes I'm like in a good mood, so I'll put on like a get hype playlist, and it'll just be straight banger after banger. There's no build up; it's just straight in. And then sometimes I'm feeling nostalgic, or I'm just reminiscing, so I'll literally put on High School Musical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll drive and I'm breaking free soul.
But it's the nostalgia, right? Nostalgia's such a powerful thing, bro. When you put on an old song that you haven't heard in years, and it takes you back to that exact moment, it's surreal, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like a fucking dream. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, it
Yeah.
brings up these emotions. Music's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I love music.
bro. You're
So
right.
good.
But I kind of stepped away from music until I needed to put on radio at work for the boys. I'd just been podcasting for fucking years.
Yeah,
bro.
I do
No
love listening
music.
to a podcast at work. It's good shit. But
No
that's also
music.
because I fucking hate the radio.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than the
Yeah.
radio, right? Like, I listen to the radio all the time at work, and like, how can you play the same 6 songs all day, every day for at least a month?
Bro, I couldn't
it's
tell you
ri-
the last time I heard the radio.
It's ridiculous. What?
I couldn't tell you the last time I heard the radio.
Ah,
bro.
you
I couldn't
lucky
tell
you, bro. Shit, and it only gets worse now. And then like they put on these new co-hosts, these new radio stars, and they're a little bit younger, and they just talk about shit.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking
They're
shit.
trying to be all hip and shit.
Yeah,
eh?
and it's like, mate, you're fucking almost 30, and you're like
Yeah.
saying like Gen Z fucking words, like, oh fuck, what's popping? And it's like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
I
Like,
love that
what are you fucking saying?
I love that
Oh,
shit.
it makes me cringe, dude. I just hear it, like, I'll be listening, like, because sometimes have the radio on and it's got, like, a fairly decent song. You're like, all right, working away, all right, this is all right. And then they just stop the song and they're just like, now back on fucking Who Kissed Who? And I was like, shut up, dude. I don't give a fuck about Tracy or fucking Jordan on fucking Love Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I can't, and,
Yeah.
I don't know, some people obviously like it, but I hate all, like maths and shit, all
Oh,
those
yeah.
reality. Some people
But
like
have
that.
you ever watched Maths?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't.
'Cause
So
I-
that's probably why I don't like it. But at the same time, it's just too much drama for me, I reckon.
To be honest, you couldn't watch it now. I've seen bits of it. Now it's at the stage where it's like you know for a fact it's 100% fake.
yeah.
You know it. But say
Well, they even say that shit on the radio. Like,
Yeah.
they get math stars on the radio, and they're like, oh, so what were you thinking when fucking Jessica didn't give you the rose?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, I knew. The producers kind of said this and that. And it's
yeah, yeah, I know.
like, what's the fucking point?
I know.
It's just all a fucking
It's a
facade.
low budget movie.
Yeah, it's a low budget movie, 100%, with like cheap fucking Australian actors.
Yeah.
Like, it's rough.
Yeah, it's like audition tape actors.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but I think, say maybe 4 years ago, I watched Maths with my mum on TV.
Yeah.
I was just like, I wonder what happens next week. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching
You
it, I'm
got
like,
caught, eh?
wow. And then I'd be thinking about it at work, bro. I'm like, fuck, I wonder who he's gonna choose. And then I get like, I love this girl. I want to be with, you know what I mean?
I wanna
Fuck
be with this chick.
girl. Yeah.
Actually,
It was good.
I did get a little bit caught up in this. It is, like, I don't like it, but like sometimes you'll see little clips and you can see why it's juicy.
Yeah.
Like I saw this clip the other day, and it was you know, it was just the guy and the girl was introducing the guy to her parents, sorry, and her mum was just like this bit of a fat chick, and she was just like really arrogant and rude and just drilling the fuck out of it. And it was kind of interesting, you know what I mean? Like he's trying, like, because I've been in that position. Yeah. You know, you're like meeting the parents for the first time, you're trying to be polite, and they're just being like cunts. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're just like, how come you don't earn this? And like, fucking, what's your goals? What's your future? I was like, I'm trying to figure it out, bro. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can see how it can be juicy. You know, it can be a little bit entertaining. Yeah. But like,
Dude, I remember with my ex, I'm pretty sure everyone listening mostly knows my ex, but some people don't. Yeah. When I first met her old man, I remember he came to pick her up, not me, from the fiddler. I think you were there that night. One of the first times I met her. It was the first night I met her. It was that night when me, you, and Lukey went out.
Yeah. I
And
remember Luke all never let out. Like, I remember meeting Thing first.
Yeah. So then she goes, oh, come out and meet my dad. So then we go out into the car park, and then he's like, oh, this is Jake. And then I shake his hand, and he goes, g'day, mate. I'm Dad. And I started like laughing. Ha ha ha. Yeah, ha ha.
Hey, Dad.
And then he goes,
what's funny?
What are you laughing at? And I'm like, oh, well, wait, what? Wait, what?
I mean, well, you're obviously not like, my dad.
Wait, yeah, like, what did you just say? And he's like, I said, my name's Dan. Is that funny?
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Oh. Shit, no. Sorry, dude. I thought you said Dad. And he didn't smile, bro. He's just dead faced, like, this kind of thing. He's like, all that, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, fuck.
It was an honest mistake, bro. I thought you were breaking the ice by telling a joke.
Yeah, I know. Because you know how some people are, this is my, okay, mate, I'm your new father-in-law or some shit. I thought that's what he was doing, bro.
I thought he was trying to be a bit funny.
I boiled it. I fucking boiled it. Who cares now, anyway?
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter now. That ship is a bit over. Sorry for these fucking iPads going off.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's just fucking ignore them. Let's just ignore them. It happens most episodes. I do want to get to Thailand. I'm excited to talk about Thailand, I love it on the pod when we talk about work for a bit. It's one of these things where it's like, you know, people always say, what's been happening? Oh, just work.
Yeah,
It's my least favorite answer I've ever heard. But when you go into work, I love it.
There's a lot involved in work.
Bro.
That's
it's
right.
fucking the best.
People do just kind of like go, you know, everyone does it. It's just work. You know, you don't even talk about it, but a lot goes into it because you fucking spend most of your time there.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, sadly.
Yeah, I know.
All your time spent there. So a lot of your, you know, a lot of the things that affect your life happen there. Sort of thing. So,
it's where you get all your experience.
That's right. You get all your experience, and you like interact with most people at work. If you think about it, like I hang out with the boys on the weekend and stuff, but then I interact with like 20 people at work every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like most of the time you're interacting and doing things at work. So we blow it off like, I was just at work. But yeah, a lot does happen there, I suppose.
I think so too. And even TAFE, like you mentioned TAFE. When did you find you got a good group of friends through TAFE?
Yeah, I did like the boys I hung out with TAFE. I only really had one mate from TAFE that I fully like linked up with and then would hang out. His name's Jake.
Oh yeah.
But shout out if you're watching, who knows?
Yeah.
He actually moved to Canada.
Oh really?
A year or two ago. I think he still might be there. I think he's coming back eventually. But yeah, he's a good bloke. I met him, good friends with him now, and I like that. That's a good friendship, I reckon.
Yeah.
But
I love when you make friends through TAFE.
Yeah. But like I didn't connect with too many other people in TAFE during that. But like a good thing about Jake is I remember I went to, because he used to live in Windsor or Richmond or something, and so yeah, I was good friends with him, and then I would go out on the weekends with him in Windsor and shit, and then meet his mates, and then I became good mates with his mates as well. Yeah. So like it was pretty good. Yeah, I do like TAFE.
Yeah,
I miss it, dude.
I miss it too. I think about going back now. Like I think about going and doing another trade. It's just
so laid back.
I'll have to talk to my fucking boss about it. It's such a big decision because I don't know if it'll be beneficial for me or not. I think I just want to do electrical.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it would be beneficial for my trade.
Bro. If you plumber and electrician, dual trade.
Friggy.
Sorry, you're right.
Come on, bro.
Sorry. I didn't mean to put you down.
Everyone listening just went Friggy.
You're a Friggy. You're a Friggy.
No hate to the plumbers. Love you plumbers. But I'm a Friggy, bro. I'm a Friggy.
Instead of sewage, it's cold gas.
Yeah, but yeah, electrical is very beneficial for my trade, but not for the job I'm doing now, which is supermarket refrigeration, which is what I always wanted to do. You actually don't do any electrical at all. I don't even know if I need pliers anymore. I don't need screwdrivers. Like, none of that shit.
Yeah, it's all just put these pipes here, solder them.
Solder it. Yeah.
Is it still solder if you use an oxy? That's still solder, right?
Soldering.
Yeah.
I call it welding.
It's like oxy, technically, but it's more soldering because it kind of layers the solder on rather than like fusing it.
Yeah, nothing gets fused, nah. It kind of does though when you think about it.
Yeah, you heat
going
that
deep
thing
into fucking soldering.
Yeah, we love soldering here, guys, on the Doxcast.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think I might start going to TAFE again just because I found a group of mates that I fucking always have in my life. You know what I mean? I just did 1, 2, 3 of them on the pod. I'm about to have a fourth one come on and do the pod as well.
Nice.
And then there's another one who would do the pod, but he actually works he's got out of the trade and now he does. How do you explain it? Like he works in the jails as the guy who is investigating why things went wrong.
Oh wow!
So he's like it's awkward for him because he sees people he knows in there and he has to like talk to his mates almost on a serious note and be like, I know I'm fucking considered to be on the other side of the fence, but we don't want another guy getting stabbed. You know what I mean? Just help us work this out so we can separate people.
Who's fucking stabbing who? Let me know what's the drama.
And as my mate Sahil will just explain to me, like they're very, very good at knowing what's happening inside of gangs and communities. So they don't put this gang with that gang. They know to put these two together. And then when a fight breaks out, they'll need to investigate it and be like, all right, how do we keep everyone safer? Let's move this person, swap them for that person. But also not make too much of this one gang, you know, keep them fucking at war.
Yeah.
It's
very interesting jail. Hey, like, do you know much? Like, is Australian jail anywhere like American jail? You reckon?
Australian jail is way more for the people than American jail. Like Australian jail is a business, just like American jail.
Yeah.
Like they're relying on more people to go to jail to stay as a functional.
Well, I think
business.
I could be wrong, but isn't Australia's got private jails as well, right? Yeah, it's fucked up. Private jails are the worst thing, bro. It's like your incentive to put more people in jail. It's a bit weird.
But at the same time, it's better because you can easily go over it. You can easily come after a company rather than going after a government. To push for more rights. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right, so there is a little silver lining.
Yeah. Like, even though the government employees have great rights, imagine like to sue Service New South Wales or sue McDonald's. You'd be more likely win suing McDonald's, you know what I mean?
Would you though? I don't know. McDonald's has more money.
McDonald's is the big one.
They've got maybe a terrible example.
Let's
there,
say NRMA,
I get what you
like
mean,
someone like you know what I mean. So that's why I kind of get it. But the jails, they're kind of built in a way that's as safe as they can make it for the people in there. Yeah.
I meant more like as in, do you know if it's like very race based in Australian jails?
Oh yeah,
It's still very. Yeah. That always tripped me out. Hey, like I always find that weird. As like I don't think if I ever went to jail, I could be a fucking Nazi. You know what I mean? Is that your only option as a little fucking white boy?
Yeah. Well, some jails are more like that than others. Like some jails, like. I'm not going to be able to guess it correctly, so I'm not going to bother trying.
Yeah.
Let's just say Orange, all right? Orange, and it's not not this jail. I'm just picking a random jail. Let's just say fucking Parkley.
Yeah, I get you.
Parkley jail might be more white-dominated in certain regards, and they're more racist towards, like, Indians or something.
But that seems crazy to me, you know what I mean? Because, like, in my opinion, anyway, Australia's not a very racist place.
It's
like,
not,
I've never seen a fucking Nazi or nothing, you know what I mean? So, like... What, are they just chilling in jail? Like, you know what I mean?
That's where they all are.
But then, like, the weird thing is, because you always see in, like, American films and shit, like, if you're that white guy and you go in, you have to be a Nazi, and, like, you can't be with the Hispanics or the blacks or anything, you know what I mean? It's just Nazi or nothing. Yeah. It's Nazi or death. Yeah. And it's like, fuck.
Well, I'm going to beat this name out, because I don't want to say this on the pod, but I'm going to say it to you anyway.
Yeah.
Do you remember the time when we heard about brother?
Yeah, I do.
Like, do you remember his whole story? I think it was him that told me it. Whenever I think of him. He said when he went in, he got attacked. He was about to get put over by a black guy in jail, and then he's like, "Fuck you," kind of thing. And then his cellmate was like, he told him go stand in the corner, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Trust me, stand in the corner." And he beat this black guy senseless. So then he got moved into like isolation for a little bit, and then all the other white guys came to this guy's brother and was like, "Oh, he's our fucking head guy. He's a fucking full racist guy." And then it's like, you're one of us now.
Oh,
and he had to pretend through his entire sentence that he was a full racist.
See what I mean? Like, does that shit happen? That sounds so fucking crazy to me. Like,
I'm pretty sure it was his brother that told me that, because he was in JOA. Do you know?
I think he's got a couple of brothers that have been. Okay. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because I'm sure it was him. He was saying that one of the guys he knew, he was like, he had like fucking slang across him, like fucking all this crazy shit, hit like swastikas and all this shit, and he had to pretend to be one of them his entire time.
See there,
because it was safe.
That's so yeah, that's what I mean. That's so scary. But like, would you? I mean, would you have to? Yeah. Like, I mean, what? You're not gonna get fucking raped. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get stabbed. So
yeah.
And then, but like, what do you do when you come out now? Because now, like, you get 5 years, yeah, you have to. But like, say you've been a fucking racist for 5 years now. Fucking that surely that would affect you mentally.
Oh yeah, you'd have to like, fucking. They call it institutionalize. You'd have to uninstitutionalize yourself and kind of remember what it's like before you went in.
Oh yeah, I hope I never go. Yeah, fuck that shit.
I nearly fucking. I was all getting a little bit frightened recently because I had to go to court because I had shot a gun at a shooting range and I wasn't allowed to.
Oh really?
I just fucking was like, yeah, no, fucking, it's all good. So then the police ended up finding out I did it because they did a police check, and then I had to go to court for it. And I was just like, I had to go to court that day. I was like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. It's probably gonna be a fucking $1,000 fine, $2,000 fine. It's pretty shit. But I knew I did the wrong thing. I was just happy to take the punishment. And the judge was all like, because what they do, they tell you the worst things first. They're like, yeah, I explained my story. He understood it. Like, it was a bit of a silly idea, but he's like, I explained to him it was kind of like I didn't really read the paperwork. I kind of just brushed over it. And then he's like, yeah, look, I understand your situation, but given the circumstance, breaching the Firearms Law Act of 1996, it's actually one of the most serious laws we have, and we have to take serious punishment against it. Usually there's a maximum punishment of 20 years, but in some circumstances we only do 2 years imprisonment. But
either of those options are shit, bro.
Then he starts going, but given your circumstances, we don't think 2 years imprisonment sounds like a fair enough deal. It was a mistake, but we need to have some retribution. Listening to him thinking, I might go to jail today. Like, I might actually go to jail. Imagine it's just like 2-3 weeks. Like,
fuck that.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, I haven't got my podcast out.
How am I going to do my podcast in jail?
Like, I've just broke my streak. Like, and that's all I care about. I'm like, damn it. Like, obviously, like, 2 weeks isn't too bad, but I got shit to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then he ended up just giving me a very little fine, fucking few $100. And I'm just like, oh, thank fuck. I was actually getting a little bit paranoid there.
Yeah,
you know?
100%, you would be.
Imagine he just said 3 months jail for fucking making a stupid mistake.
Yeah. It's funny, though. I was watching, like I said, I was watching the podcast with Josh. And it was funny when you guys were talking about, like, all the court sentences and stuff, and, like, how that person, like, this full junkie came on before you. He was like, oh, yeah, I just slipped up, get eyes, you know, and, like, he let him go. But then, like, and it's like, cunts that, I'm probably a bit biased because I like us, but it's like, cunts that don't really mean that bad, you know what I mean? We just fucked up a little bit, and they're just like, no, cunt, you're fucked.
I know.
Go to jail.
They do that. They try and but they kind of scare the fuck out of you. That's what they're doing.
It's probably a good idea.
They're just scaring you. Like, I'm going to keep mentioning Sale because it's the most recent podcast I did.
Yeah.
And so it's on the back. I was literally editing it as you came here. But he was like, we're sitting there, and then the judge is like, you know, I'm thinking 4 years sounds like a good sentence. And this is after 14 months of already been in jail, waiting to hear when he gets out. He goes 4 years, and then he's like, fuck.
Yeah, if you heard that, if I heard that, bro, my guts would drop, dude.
And then the guy goes, but I think 2 years, 2.5 years is a bit more better. And then he's like, 2.5 years. Fuck. And the judge is like, but give me some time to think about it. Comes back a week later and he's like, thought about it. This is your last warning.
Oh, please. Thank you. Thank the Lord. It's like, fuck, I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take a warning.
Yeah, that would be fucked. Imagine finding out you had to go to jail for fucking 10 years.
Nah, that would be insane.
Yeah.
It's life-changing, completely life-altering, you know? You just...
And some people only go to jail for something like 15, 20 years because they created a fucking internet program that was designed that they could sell it, didn't give a fuck who bought it, and some Taliban company bought it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That gets terrorist act, and then they're fucking like locked up.
Because it's like a duty of care. You didn't make sure the terrorists couldn't get it, so it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, go after the terrorists, not me, bro. I didn't fucking use it for that.
Yeah. Well, imagine you could just hack and you're just like, what's going on behind the scenes at Service New South Wales, and you change a couple things to make yourself look better.
Julia Assange of fucking Australia.
WikiLeaks, yeah.
Yeah.
Or imagine you just could, and then comes like, bro, I'm about to lose my license, and you're like, $5,000, bro, $5,000, and you just have to. All you got to do is just go, and then that's it.
Yeah, you
Done.
do that.
No one's seeing you. You're in your room. You're safe. You used your phone. You just did it, and then you're like 2 years jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope I never go to jail. Fuck that shit. Eh?
Yeah,
Fuck that.
I know.
I've only ever been in handcuffs once, and I remember it wasn't even scary. Like I was like, I've got a pretty good like. If cops ever pull me over or anything, I just go, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. And
Yeah.
they seemed pretty cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, they put me in handcuffs. First time ever in handcuffs. They put me in the back of the wagon. I'm like, fuck, all right, this is whatever. And I was pretty cool, calm about it. And then as soon as we got into the actual police station, I saw the jail cell. And I was like, fuck, bro. I just instantly, as soon as I saw the cell, I'm like, fuck, they're not going to put me in there, are they? Am I going to fucking sleep in a jail cell? Bro, my heart was racing. I was like, fuck, what's going on? What's going on? Thankfully, they just took my details and shit, let me go.
Yeah.
But like, I remember the whole time, nothing was scary. Everyone's all cool and calm. Got the handcuffs on, a bit weird, whatever. But then I saw the jail cell, dude, and it just like switched in my mind. I was like, fuck, dude, I can't be in there. I can't be in there. No phone, no fucking comfort, no fucking bed. Just sit on a hard bench in the cold for fucking hours, dude.
Yeah.
It's scary. I couldn't do it.
I've never been in a holding cell at all. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't even know if I've experienced having handcuffs on me. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Definitely not from a police officer. Like,
There's
I know
been a
what
couple
it feels like.
situations.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's surprising. It surprises myself anyway, because I was irresponsible. I've been very irresponsible, and I have been surrounding myself with just as irresponsible people my whole life. But yeah, I think I got lucky in a sense. And there has been times where I could have easily found myself up in jail for something stupid.
Yeah.
Just something stupid, nothing fucking serious. But how would you feel if you had to go to jail for like 60 days? How would you honestly feel?
Oh, dude, like, I would feel fucking shit. I mean, it's obviously, like, I'd be convincing myself that it's only 60 days, you know? I'd be like, oh, bro, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I reckon, like, the first day you got there, you just, I don't know, it'd be so surreal. It'd be like a nightmare. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it would.
You reckon?
I think about it a lot. Because I think knowing you're going to get out in 60 days would be the only thing that makes nothing freaky. You know what I mean? Because I don't really think it would be like, fuck, I'm in jail. I think every now and then someone might put it over you, someone might fucking interrogate you, someone might try and fucking convince you to do something for them. But you can kind of write 60 days out. You can ride that out.
That's what you'd be focusing on, that it's only 60 days. But I feel like, the whole time you're there, you'd be like, fuck, I'm here. You know, like, fuck, I'm here. And then, like, the only thing to make you feel better would be that 60 days. Like, it's only 60 days, bro. Fucking day one, fuck, 59 to go. It's all good. But, I don't know. I reckon it'd be pretty freaky.
Yeah. I just think to myself, like, fuck, I could get some reading done, could work out a bit, my diet would be completely fucking flushed out, no chocolate.
Yeah, you
know
think
what
about
I
that,
mean?
You're like, fuck, I'd go get jacked. But that's what everyone does. You know what I mean? How real is it? You know what I mean? Like, especially when, like, I don't know how depressing it is in there. Like, imagine, you think, like, fuck, I've got so many hours just to do whatever I want. I'll be productive. I'll read a book. I'll fucking do some push-ups. But, like, until you're actually in that cell all by yourself and you've just got locked in and fucking the guard that put you in there just talked about how you're a piece of shit or something, you know what I mean? Like, it could just change your emotional feelings on it. You could just be like sitting there like, fuck, what have I done with my life? You know, just sitting on your bed like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, my mate was telling me that, like, there's no open conversation in there at all. Like, I was saying, does everyone kind of like have each other's back in a way, look out for each other, care about each other's well-being? And he's like, nah.
No, not at all.
He's like, if you were telling someone like, fuck, man, like, I'm not going to get out for 3 years, but I regret doing what I'm doing. Like, what about my kids going to be fucking 10 by the time I get out? Like, cunts would be like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. Don't bring your depressing shit over here.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's some weird shit.
That's
Imagine
sad.
That's what would fuck you up. Like, you're like, fuck, 59 more days of this.
Yeah.
Someone's just telling me I'm a shit cunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, the only thing that would get you out of it, I reckon, is like, 59 more, 58 days. You know, you're just like, it's not that long.
Yeah.
I'll get over it.
Yeah.
But like, what if you got sentenced to 10 years?
I got sentenced to 10 years. I got to fucking reevaluate my whole meaning of life. I got to reevaluate how I think, how I carry myself. I got to change. I wouldn't survive right now who I am in jail, but I'm capable of becoming the person that I think would survive in jail. Does that make sense?
But then are you capable of returning to society after that though? Because that will change. That's a big change.
I think I
someone
could.
someone who can not only survive but almost do well in jail. That's a completely different person to someone who can do well out in freedom.
Yeah, but I think I'm very adaptive, bro. I have a chameleon type personality in a sense where no matter who I'm talking to or hanging out with, I feel like I can connect to them so easily. It doesn't matter if it's because of my grandparents, I've met fucking mayors and long served army generals that when they had their wedding, it was only like politicians and shit like that. And I just felt comfortable being that because it's kind of like family. But then I have like people who are like also like me who are just degenerate fucking pieces of shit like myself, and I'm just as easily gonna have a conversation with them. So I think because of that fact, I think this is a conversation I have a bit with people. It's like, would it be better to be the type of person that's always themselves, or be the type of person that can adapt to whoever they're with? You know, in a sense.
What if being yourself is that person that's adapting?
That's what I mean.
Everyone,
Like that kind of is me. That is my personality. If I go to a fucking formal dinner, I'm happy to sit up straight and change my tone because this person's missus is there. This person brings someone for the first time. Yeah, I can do that. But some people, you can see the confidence they have, and it doesn't come across arrogant, that they don't need to try and fucking be someone they're not. You know what I mean? They can walk in with they can have the same attitude as they go for every single room. But for me, it's like I might stand up a bit straighter in some rooms.
I feel the same way, sort of thing, because there's always every social situation has a
criteria,
has a way to act. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it has a certain prerequisite.
Oh, what a great word! Can you tell me what that means?
Prerequisite. It's just something that is required previously. Prerequisite.
Yeah,
so it's just like this is It's called upon for this particular thing. So.
Okay.
I only know that shit from like games. So like if you're like upgrading, like say you playing a car game.
Let me cut you off. These dogs, I gotta shut them off.
Yeah. So yeah, prerequisite. Say you're like playing a car game, right? And you've got you want to upgrade to a V8. A prerequisite is like you have to have the V6 first, and then you can move on to the V8. It's just something that's required first. You know what I mean? So a prerequisite.
I get you. I'm gonna use that word more. I like
nice,
that word.
That was something good about Josh. He has like a lot of fucking pretty educated words.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking, what is that kind of thing? What does that mean?
Well, I've only just got into words like
I love words.
Patriotic and hierarchy and fucking
good shit.
All these political terms and tyranny and
tyranny.
Tyranny. Oh, tyranny. Is that how you pronounce it?
Well, that's how I pronounce it. I could be wrong. I don't know. That's
I only
how
know it from reading it.
Yeah, tyranny.
Yeah.
Tyrannical governments.
Tyrannical, shit like that. I'm finding that so interesting. I've gotten deep into fucking...
I've always been pretty interested in words. Like, you feel accomplished when you use a big word, eh?
Yeah,
You're like,
100%. Yeah. One of my mates fucking called me out episode 20. Maybe it was episode 10. Anyway, he was like saying to me, he's like, bro, I know what you're doing lately. He's like, you're just making up words and to sound cool.
I've done that.
I'm like, fuck you. No, I'm not.
I've done that.
And then like we Google the word. I'm like, fuck you. It is a word. And he's like, he's literally on his phone. He's like, oh, I didn't even care. I was just making fun of you.
I've definitely made up words though, especially when you're drunk and you're just like having an argument with someone and you just like, you'll just fuse two big words together and you go, fucking Bananopoulos. And you're like, yeah, I'm right. You don't even know how to spell it.
Yeah, the possible.
Yeah, exactly. You know, your brain just merges words together and it's like close enough.
Yeah. All right, let's go into fucking Thailand. All right?
Let's get into it.
Tell me what was the best part for you. What was the
best part about Thailand? Fuck, there was just so much to do. I loved it all. I loved fucking riding mopeds. Loved shooting guns. I love just how I love how nonchalant the fucking whole place is, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was just. My favorite thing to say about Thailand is it's filled with delinquents, and I fucking get it, and I feel like I'm at home. You know what I mean? Like you can just do whatever you want. No one really cares. Yeah, just honestly, the whole vibe of it as well is just like it's kind of made for people our age. You know what I mean? Like it's not like when you walk the streets of like Bangalore Road and you see like families and shit. It's very uncommon. It's not very uncommon. It's just less common than fucking just us. You know what I mean? So it's like it's almost weird to see a family there. It's not very a family orientated place. It's made for fucking 20-year-olds going there to fucking just get up to mischief, you know? So it's made for us, which was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
You know,
it's unlike anything else that you've experienced. Like
that's right.
Thailand is such an individual place.
Yeah, that's right, 100%. And it's just like it's so welcoming as well. Like especially in contrast to Sydney, like you go out with the boys, like you have a couple of pre-drinks because it's so expensive to get drunk in the city, right? So you're already a little bit drunk before you get there. You walk in, you got to pay fucking $50 entry fee.
Yeah.
The whole time that you're paying entry fee, the fucking security guard's looking you up and down. Like, fuck, man, I don't like the look at you. I don't think you're fucking right to come in. It's like, oh, I don't know, mate. Well, have you had 2 fucking drinks? Nah, bro, you're fucking drunk, eh? Get out. Thailand, they're like, fuck, mate, are you on fucking coke and fucking, you know, you've had 20 drinks and it's only fucking 6 p.m? Come in, brother.
Yeah,
they're begging you to get in, you know?
Yeah.
It's completely different, bro. It's made for the nightlife as well.
I think that when you get here and the bouncer asks you how many drinks you had, and you say 2, which is the standard. You should be saying 2.
Yeah.
But you can also risk it and say none.
No,
you know,
no. If you say none, bro, he's kicking you out before you get in, bro. He's just like, nah, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, bro.
No, if you say 2, it's either, all right, mate, fucking take it easy, or it's 2. That's too many.
It's like, well,
and
so
you can't say no.
Sober.
Yeah, and you can't say no.
I'm supposed to be sober, cunt. It's 10 o'clock at night, mate. I fucking came from another establishment. Fuck you, let me in. You know? It's like,
yeah.
I
learned that no matter, my go thing was like, no matter how fucked up I was, if they say, how many drinks you had tonight, mate? I say, well, would you believe me if I said no, I just came from work, even if I hadn't? And if they say, what do you do for work? Well, I'm actually a refrigeration mechanic and I just did a service call in here making sure the beers were cold, so I'm here to taste it out. And then they're always like,
what's the success rate?
Get in. 100% success rate. 100%.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but
just good.
I miss Thailand, bro. Hearing you boys go was such a fucking...
It's so good, especially to go with your mates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's made for a group of boys aged from 20 to 30 to just go get fucking loose. So it's such a good place.
Did you ever see anyone getting up to some fucking crazy shit? Like, or was everyone pretty calm when you went?
Everyone was pretty chill. We only saw one fight the whole time we were there, which I thought was pretty crazy. I thought like no one, because like, I don't know, maybe I was just a bit weird, but I was like, fuck, Thai, I don't want to go to Thai prison. Fuck, I'm not fighting. I'm not doing anything, you know what I mean? So I saw like one fight and it was like some dude, I don't even know what nationality it was, some big dude, and he was like trying to fight one of the Thai guys. And I was like, fucking hell, you're going to get fucking whipped, bro. What are you doing? He's going to call out 1,000 little fucking Thai fighters and just beat the fuck out of you. Then they're going to take you to Thai prison. But surprisingly, he threw a punch, people broke it up, and then they just walked away. Which was pretty surprising to me. I thought like fucking something crazy would be going on. But yeah, besides that, not really, nothing too crazy. One of the craziest things I felt not scared, but like, fuck, it was weird because we went to 2 gun ranges. I remember Josh talking about it a little bit. And like he said, the first one was a bit weird and the second one was just the best. The second one was out in the country. They were so happy to see you. They're like, fucking take this gun. The first one, bro, it sketched me out. So you walk down Bangla Road and they've always got their flyers. They're like, gun. If you say no to guns, they're like, cock. So anyway, we were like, yeah, we want to shoot guns. Take us to the gun range. And they fucking take us through these alleyways, out the back. We have to go through a couple of doors, down this fucking staircase. And then we get into this dead fucking quiet room. There's only 2 fucking Thai guys. They look angry. They're like, I'm fucking sick of these tourist cunts coming to shoot guns. And they've got live guns. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking weird. And then they just hand you the guns. I'm like, fuck, don't shoot me. And I remember what we did was on the first one, we got, we all chose our own guns. So I think Alex got the 9mm on the first time.
My favorite gun. The 9mm was my favorite gun.
It's pretty cool. I got because it was a little bit cheaper. This was the first time I got the little snub nose 22, the little pistol. And then Zach and Josh went halves in. It was a 22, but it was like a little SMG thing. It was like a little, but it was a 22.
Oh yeah.
And so they ordered the 22, Alex ordered the 9mm, and then I walked up and I was like, oh, I want 22 as well. So he thought I wanted the same gun as Josh and Zach. So we get out to the fucking, to the shooting range, and I'm like, oh, sorry, bro, no, I wanted the snub nose, the pistol. And he just looked at me. He was pissed. I was like, fuck, bro. Like, he's got a loaded gun. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But, that was a bit sus to me, I reckon. But besides that, not really. It was all cool. Oh, I guess driving was pretty sus. It was pretty sketchy. Like, when we first jumped on, I remember it was like, my heart was racing. Like, when we first... Alex was so scared, dude, because also, like, we got 4 mopeds. And they only had 3 mopeds that were the same. And then there was one that was, like, fucking double the CCs or something. And Alex being Alex, he's just like... I'll take the big one. I ride a motorbike. And then 5 minutes down the road, he's like, I'm returning this shit, eh? I'm like, I can't deal with this shit. And then he returned it. But yeah, it was because it was like when I first jumped on it, it was a bit sketchy because like you're trying to suss it out, you know what I mean? Cunts are going on the wrong side of the road. The traffic lights don't work. You go through red lights and it's normal. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to give way to pedestrians. Fucking, so it was a bit scary. But then after like the first day, I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. is so fun. It's
Footpaths and shit.
I know how to go. I know which way to go.
Yeah.
And that's like what Josh was saying. Like, it is mainly mopeds.
Mm-hmm.
So like, everyone does look out for mopeds, especially because it's a tourist area. All the tourists are on moped being fuckwits.
Yeah.
So every single car's like, fuck, this cunt's gonna fucking cut in front of me. So they expect you to cut in front of them and shit.
Even being a white person, you see another white person, you're like, fuck, stay away from this cunt. But when you see the traditional Thai people driving around, you're like, yeah,
100%.
this cunt's good.
Yeah, I remember actually the first night we got there, we were driving, because it was nighttime when we got in, and we were driving from the airport to Bangla Road. So we're just in like a Toyota Camry little taxi thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that was pretty sketchy because that's when we get to see he's like driving on the wrong side of the road, fucking cutting corners and shit. And then I remember we come to this stop, it was like a T section. And we come to a stop and this motorbike has two just like, I don't know what Nash they are, but they're white. Just the most drunk, reckless motherfuckers you ever seen. And they're on this massive moped, like huge moped. It's got to be like fucking 1,000 cc's. And they come to a stop and we come to a stop. So then they start to take off and they don't have helmets. They've got shorts, no shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking one of them's not wearing a shirt, I think. And then fucking, so he's trying to take off. He's trying to fucking go. And he's like, oh, oh. And then the fucking cunt half comes off the back. And then they almost go up the gutter. And then eventually he fucking corrects himself and he finally gets it back on. They hold on and then they take off. And then the taxi driver just fucking starts cracking up. Just like looks at us like, oh, look, tourists. And I'm like, fuck, this is normal? This is just what happens on the regular? So it was a bit sus that, but it was so fun. It was so fun.
Do you reckon you'd go back there for your next holiday? Or would you go somewhere else?
Oh, it's a good question. We've been in Naran. I reckon I wouldn't mind going back to Thailand, but actually go to like Bangkok and like Pattaya and shit. Just see
Bangkok is way more sketchy than
that's what I mean.
Phuket.
Like I want because now that was the warm up, that was the touristy area where you fucking got it. It's a bit sus, But like now, I reckon the main island fucking would be good.
I don't know if I'd ever go Bangkok. I don't know.
You reckon?
I don't know if it's necessary. Like, you may as well stick to the fun part of Thailand. Like,
Well, I'm pretty sure Bangkok's pretty fun as well, dude. It's just a bit more
fun.
hectic, a bit more crazy.
It's one of the loosest places in the world for people I know who have been there. Like, it's just unsafe, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, Thailand, but Phuket feels unsafe, but it's safe.
Yeah, it's pretty safe, Phuket. Yeah, honestly, you feel like
Bangkok,
when you first get there,
you're not safe the whole time you're there.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Thai people are nice.
Like,
bro.
how much money do you have? That's kind of Bangkok. How much money do you have to get out of situations?
Well, that's like Thailand, though. You know what I mean? I don't think any of the boys. Maybe Zach did. I haven't watched these yet, but like I remember, it would have been 3 or 4 days after we got the mopeds. I was back in the hotel, and I didn't want to ride at night time. I was like, I don't really give a fuck. I'll just go get a massage or something. But Alex, Josh, and Zach were all riding around at night time on their mopeds. And a cop actually pulled him over. So we didn't have international licenses. We were thinking about getting it, and then like we left it too late, and then we're like, fuck, we can get a moped without it, who cares? So they pull him, the cop pulls them over, and he's like, fucking, boys got a license? And I'm like, yeah, we got a license, bro. And he's like, where are you from? And they're like, oh, we're from Australia. And he's like, oh, okay, you got helmets on, you're from Australia? Okay, get out of here. As long as you're not French. That's what he said, bro. As long as you're not French. And it's like, they love, I don't know if it's just like Australians are pretty like well-mannered in other countries. That's what I've heard anyway. Yeah. But they love Aussies over there, right? They don't like the French. Not a big fans of the Russians, I saw, because they're a little bit arrogant. But they love the Aussies, eh? You can almost get away with anything if you're an Aussie.
Yeah. Because Aussies are so calm, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry, that's the point of that story, was even if they did get caught, even if he was like, oh, fuck, show me your license sort of thing, 300 baht.
Yeah, I know. That's like
300 baht, you go on.
When I went
150. Well, not even.
When I went there, $1 was 20 baht. What was it when you went there? $1 Australian. So 30 baht would have been 20
I think it was like,
divided by. So
I think it was like 23.9 baht.
Oh, yeah. So even
like
more.
That. Yeah, it was a little bit better.
That's mad. Yeah, I think it was equivalent to almost 20. Some places you might get 21 if you're lucky, but barely.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, wow. The crazy thing is to me was it's like, what would cost you 20 baht in fucking Thailand? Well, let's just say it's fucking 100 baht, which is the equivalent of, what's that, $5?
Yeah.
$5. Instead of something costing 100 baht, it would cost you like 20 baht. You know
that
what
was
I mean?
the best thing.
Things actually cheaper in comparison.
Things are actually cheaper because they charge you less. Like with the conversion rate.
Yeah.
Like, even here, you pay fucking $3-4 for a can of Coke.
Yeah.
Over there, it was like, 100 baht, if that. You know what I mean? Like $1.
But when I went to Bali, though, that's why I didn't like Bali, because I expected it to be like that, but it wasn't. You go to a servo, and the conversion rate would be like $1 is the equivalent of $1 million.
Barnese.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. It'd be nice to know. I'm going to look it up as I tell the story.
Oh yeah, we've got Google.
But then instead of it being like, say, 200,000 for a fucking drink, it would be something like 9 million. You know what I mean? So it's still fucking $3 something for a drink. So let's go. What is the Bali currency? It is, rupiah. That's right.
Really? Rupiah?
Yeah, rupee. That's right.
No, rupees are Indian, right? So it's rupiah.
Yeah, rupiah. Indonesian rupiah. That's what they call it. Yeah, but I remember just thinking, like, this isn't even cheap. Everything, like, you go to get a feed and it would say, like, 56 million or something. And you're like, that's $56, cunt. That's actually expensive.
Yeah,
bro.
that's true, yeah.
Nothing was cheap there.
No, I think it's also you got to be careful where you go. Like, I remember, like, it was heaps cheap in Thailand, but like if you hung out on Bangla Road, like we got a feed on Bangla Road once, all the boys together, and it cost us like fucking 50-60 Australian dollars for 4 people, which doesn't seem that bad if you're in Australia. 50-60 bucks for like a sit down meal. They got some ribs and shit, but like we got that same meal just down the road from our fucking hotel at the food, like the meat market. And it was like $10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like 10 Australian dollars, and it's like, oh fuck, we just got ripped off hard.
Yeah.
Because they know they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that was like the first couple of days we were there. All the boys, including myself, we were just throwing money away. You know what I mean? We're like, $1,000 baht, what's that? Fucking $5.
Yeah.
We didn't really get it
Yeah.
just yet, so we're just chucking it away.
Yeah.
But then like past the third day, on the fourth day, we're like, all right, hold on.
Yeah.
I've already spent like $1,000
Yeah.
Australian, so let's fucking barter a bit.
Yeah. I remember one of the coolest things I bought was like a juice, but they gave the juice in a bag. Did you ever see them?
Oh yeah. I didn't actually see that. I saw that on fucking The Hangover Part 3. And, they get like a fucking orange juice in a plastic bag. I never saw that.
Yeah.
But I've
That
heard
was
about
cool.
it.
You go pick out whatever fucking ingredients you want. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm keen for this juice. Give you a bag with a straw coming out the top, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Just fucking drinking this bag of drink, bro.
It's funny how like when I was going there, I was like, I probably won't drink any like open drinks that have like ice in it and shit. Probably shouldn't. And then we got there, and I was like, give it to us. Give it to me. We'll see. But I never got sick or nothing. None of the boys did. Oh, I think Zach got like a little flu, but I think that he got that on like the first day. He got that from like flying. When we were flying, the aircon was on constantly. He got like a little sniffle. But like none of us got food poisoning, and we were all eating street food every day.
Yeah.
Every single day would go down, buy
Because
some.
the skate dogs are made of fucking iron.
Bro, 100%. Yeah, we were just like, fucking give me all that greasy shit. I remember one night we were at a bar. I was drunk as fuck. The ladies are looking after us as they do. And they come up. One of them left. Her shift was over, so she left. She went down the road, bought a couple of things, and then she came back to see us on her way back. She had this like fucking stick of like these little fucking brown white balls. She's fucking numbing on them, and she's like, fucking try this, it's so good. And I'm hammered. I'm like, give it to me. It was like an octopus ball or some shit. It was nasty as fuck, but I was just like, thank you, this is great. Just fucking eating it, and like, yeah, and I never got sick, which was so good. I was a bit worried about that.
Yeah.
Even like, because I got my shots. I got like Hep B and fucking.
Yeah, I think I did too. Actually,
it starts with a T or something. What is it? It's fuck something like that. But yeah, I was eating everything. It was good.
Yeah.
When I first got there, on the very first night, we went to that meat market, and I was sussed out. I was like, fuck, there's like raw food everywhere. That was something that was surprising. There's like raw food. Well, they really cook everything and leave it out open, but there wasn't any flies.
Yeah,
I was so surprised. Like, fucking,
Yeah.
there's so many flies in Australia. You just have like a lollipop, and there's 100 flies coming around. You sense that shit.
Yeah.
There, every 500 meters, there's a stall of just cooked food, raw food, just out in the open.
Yeah.
No flies.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
That's because of the humidity, eh?
It could be something to do with that. And then like we only saw I saw like 10 flies my entire trip, and they're all like these tiny little fucking
Yeah,
baby little fruit flies,
things,
and you
yeah.
barely see them. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was just surprising. I was like, fucking hell, I hate flies, and I thought that would be a big problem.
Yeah,
But
me
nah,
too.
not at all.
I remember thinking that too. I remember because Thailand was my first actual experience of going overseas.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken, actually, I think I might have. Oh yeah, it was my first time going overseas, but that was still my favorite holiday I've ever been on.
Yeah,
it's just there's nothing funner than Thailand. Honestly,
So good.
There's nothing funner. I've been a couple places now. The next place I'm gonna go is probably going to be Thailand.
Yeah, going back to Phuket.
Yeah, I can't, bro.
Why not?
I need to.
That was actually a good thing about Phuket. I don't, because you said you didn't really ride mopeds, or did you?
In Thailand, I didn't know.
So good, bro. One of the best. Actually, I'm locking it in. This was my favorite experience. Was getting the mopeds and riding around the entire island.
Oh yeah.
Because we went to Old Phuket Town on the east side, because Phuket's on the west side. And then we went down south to Kamala. We went up north to Karen Beach. We went around the whole. We went into the center to Big Buddha. We fucking went down a little bit more.
Wow.
And that was the best, honestly, because it adds like a little bit of exploration to it.
Yeah.
But even like, because at one point we went to this we were like, oh, we may as well go into the jungle and find this waterfall. We never ended up looking at the waterfall, but like we drove out into the middle of the island. We get to this path. This path, it's like fucking so long. We start walking up these stairs, and it just, every fucking 500 meters, it just turns more and more jungly. Like, you've got these nice paved steps. You're like, fuck yeah, this is going to be heaps good. And then you get to, like, this section where they've got these balconies and all these, like, little buildings built, and they're all fucking crumbled, and, like, the bridges are broken. And we're like, oh, fuck. So we cross the bridges that are broken, and then we got, like, instead of, like, paved stairs now, it's just rocks that they've just placed. And then you get past that, and now it's just dirt that they've dug out, and you're like... Fuck, and like, as soon as you get in the jungle, it just turns into an oven, eh?
Yeah.
Like, the jungle, like, it's already hot all the time, but then as soon as you got into the actual canopy of the jungle, bro, it was like a fucking sauna, dude. I was so hot.
Yeah.
And, it was just fucking mad exploring, dude. Just going around the whole island, seeing what it's got to offer.
Oh, fuck, you're making me want to go overseas,
It's
bro.
so good, bro. 100%. Best trip I've ever been on.
I've been exploring lately, just here, just in Sydney. I've just been going out. Yeah, it's been nice just going for a drive somewhere random and just fucking getting out and walking around. Literally just go on my phone, things to do here, and then just go look at it. Yeah.
You said on Josh's podcast how you went out in the morning one day to like a lookout to watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wish I did more shit like that. Like it's honestly, it almost like kind of like makes you happy as well, you know what I mean?
Oh, fuck
like,
yeah. That was a great feeling.
Yeah, you'd feel so good like watching the sunrise, and like it's also like a weird feeling when you're up when no one else is up.
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
I'm only experiencing this. This is nice, and it's like really tranquil and surreal. And...
Well, I don't know. I think I might have mentioned this on his podcast, or I don't know if I even mentioned it on a podcast. Did I mention like the feeling of being the only person awake? Did I mention that?
Not that I remember. I don't think so.
Okay. Because I've been definitely thinking it. I've told people it lately. I just can't remember if I've said it on the podcast. But the feeling of being the only person awake for me now is starting to become very lonely, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
And it's fun for like a bit. But now it's like I'll wake up on a fucking Saturday at, let's just call it 3:30 in the morning. And it's like, I'm awake now. What do I got to do? And I'll just find something to do. I might have something to edit, but sometimes I can't be fucked. So I'll just go for a drive somewhere. And I'm the only cunt on the road.
Yeah.
I drive to work and there's no traffic. I go home and it's fucking 11 a.m. and it's like
a ghost
time for bed.
Town.
You know what I mean? It's a very weird feeling being the only cunt awake. Very weird. Yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it on the podcast. But it's almost like a lonely feeling. So I'm trying to decide now whether it's something that I want to do forever or not. You know, it's very weird. Very weird.
That's right. I mean, it could just take a while to get used to as well. You know what I mean?
Well, I was used to it in the beginning. It was exciting. It was fresh. It was like this cool thing. But now it's like...
Now you're used to it. It's a bit boring. I get you.
Yeah. Solo.
That was another thing about Thailand is like, no matter what time you're up, everyone's awake.
Yeah.
Except for like a small period from like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
When everyone's asleep. Everyone's dead asleep from 6 to 8, and then it's back and up and running, you know what I mean? Everyone's always awake all the time.
I like it how like you go out into the street and it's all markets. You go have a bit of a fucking rest. You come out. Everything that was a market is now a bar. It's just it's like the whole island's a transformer.
Yeah, it is. 100%. 100%.
Where did all the Gucci bags go?
Yeah, where'd the Gucci bags go? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Where'd the Gucci bags go? Where'd all the fucking fake Nikes go? I remember my favorite, we were calling them touts, like the guys trying to sell you shit. And my favorite guy was once we were at like the weed bar and we were just smoking cones with him and shit. And he was the only honest guy ever. Everyone's like, I sell top quality Nike, and they're all fake shit. Yeah. And this guy, he's like, I sell high quality fake knockoffs. You know what I mean? He was the only one that was just honest about it. He was just like, they're shit, but that's what I sell. You want quality, some? Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I want to buy something from him now. He's honest, you know? He's honest to me. He was good.
Yeah. What about Josh? He came with these Nike kicks, like, is that PlayStation? Yeah. And he goes, no, bro. Play Stanton.
Yeah, I pointed... Bro, we didn't even find that out until like 2 weeks ago. He was wearing them. I was like, fuck, I thought they said PlayStation. Is that Play Stanton? He's like, oh. Yeah, they do.
Fucking Nike PlayStations.
Yeah, bro. I bought like one pair of Nikes and I wore it for 2 days and like the soles are all like crunched up and fucked up. And it's like,
I bought these Supreme Nike Air 270s and I went there and I'm like, these are so cool. And then I got back, I'm like, these aren't cool.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like all the clothing over there. It's like it's not bad enough, but it's just like it just fits you weird.
Yeah.
Like I looked like a fucking dope when I was in Thailand. I like look back at the photos and I thought I looked cool.
Yeah.
No, I looked like a baby wearing weird fucking shit, just sloshed drunk all the time.
Yeah. I remember me and Pat, we went into this one store, blind, just obliterated, and then like we've kind of like they've taken us through the back into the back store, you know.
Yeah,
now you're in like the sketchy part where you like all of a sudden you're like, this is actually not bad gear. Maybe they stole this shit.
Yeah.
And then like I look at Pat and he's just so gone. He's still blind. He doesn't know what's happening. And then I look and there's a bunch of guys now like looking at us like just in this back room. I'm like, oh, now we have to buy some shit. You know, we're in the mix. Yeah.
Zach loved those back rooms. Every fucking time we went out with Zach, he's like, oh, we got to go into this back room, bro. He offered me a back room. We got to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into another back room, bro.
Yeah,
He's going to ask me to buy shit again.
It's a sketchy room, eh?
It's scary. And they've got so many. You see, you walk out the back and they've just got like 6-7 doors of these white like construction zone fucking buildings.
Yeah.
And they open them up, they're fully nice, air conditioned.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is nice in here, I like it. And then then they've got fucking Chanel, Gucci bags, purses, shoes, fucking.
And you kind of have to buy something in
you
there.
feel bad if you don't. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
we wasted like 30 minutes of your time. Or something.
Yeah.
And they always go to you. It's like fucking, it's 12 o'clock, it's midday, and they go, oh, you're the first customer. Morning price.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your first customer. It's not the morning. What are you fucking talking about? Like,
And this price was the same yesterday.
yeah,
at
it's
6
like, I asked you yesterday, and now it's 50 baht more now.
Yeah. I remember one time I was like, looking at Carreras, and I was like, there's an eye. I was like, you have any with green on it? And he's like, no, but I can get you some green ones. I'll just stay here, I'll get some green ones. I said, no, nah, if you don't have green, it's fine, don't worry about it. And then like 3 days later, he tracks me down. He's like, got the green.
No way.
And I'm just like, I've already bought some sunnies now. And he's looked at me, and then my mate Pat was like,
You have
fuck,
to.
dude, you have to buy this. And I'm
He
like,
spent
nah,
so long.
fuck him, bro. I don't want it. And then Pat bought it. He's just like, this guy's like tracked it down for days. Yeah. He probably bought it.
Yeah, I had this one experience where I was like, we're buying shoes, and I wanted like this specific, or like a black Nike with like these blue bottoms. And I was like, because they had like, I've got a pretty big foot, and they're all Thai size, so they've all got small ones. I was like, you got blue? And he's like, no. He at first, he just thought he did. He's like, yeah, I got it. And then he spent like half an hour looking. He's like, okay, I don't got it. He's like, come back tomorrow and we'll have it. We get shipment tomorrow. And I'll come back tomorrow. He doesn't exist anymore. This guy that told me that to come back, he doesn't exist. I ask around all the people that he was talking to, where's this guy? He said blue shoe. He's like, blue shoe? No shoe, bro. And then I never ended up getting them. And I was like, fuck you, bro. I wanted those blue Nikes.
Never existed.
He didn't exist, bro. 100%. He spent ages talking to us. I'm pretty sure Zach and Josh, that's where they got the PlayStation shoes from. And he's like, come back tomorrow. We get new shipment. We come back tomorrow. That guy's not there. He doesn't exist. The new guy there is like, shipment? We don't get a shipment for a month, bro. What are you talking about? And I'm like, all right, I'll just leave.
That's so good.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
That's so good. Well, I'm getting sad talking about Thailand now, to be honest with you. I don't want to talk about Thailand anymore.
No more Thailand.
I don't want to talk about Thailand anymore.
Yeah,
Thailand's
so good.
What about outside of working? What have you been spending your time doing?
Outside of working, I'm trying to get my motorbike license, actually. I've got it set up for the July 1st. I've got to go do me little learner's course, which will be exciting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and get a motorbike. Alex got his recently and that, so
nice.
I want to buy a bike and we'll go riding together and shit, little hobby.
Bike, bro.
I'm a bit scared. Look, I'm scared of bikes as in like, I don't want to be that fuckwit that's doing 210 and gets decapitated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, they're so fun, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're so fucking fun. Like, you ride it and it's exhilarating, especially when you're learning. Like, I've ridden Alex's bike a couple of times and I'm doing like, it was funny. I made him crack up so hard. He was at my house and I'm like, let me just go for a quick ride. So I jump on it and I just go up the street and I come back And he watches me the whole time. I wouldn't have gone over 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
Not over 10 kilometers, bro. I shit you not. And then I come back, my face, I got this big smile. I'm like, bro, that was exhilarating. It's fucking exhilarating. He's like, cunt, you didn't. Like, if you're doing that in a car, you'd be fucking like, this sucks. You know what I mean? That took so long. But like, it's just because you're balancing. You're one with the fucking elements. Like, if you fall, you're gone. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just puts all this fucking like mad tension on the moment.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun. So, but like, I'm not gonna be. I want to get a cruiser. So like, a cruiser you can't really do fucking. You can't do wheelies with and shit. You can, but it's really hard. So it's like, I'm never doing a wheelie ever. Never fucking doing a wheelie. And yeah, I won't be going too fast. Like the other day, I was driving. The other week, I was driving on the M4 home from work. Or the other month, and I was doing like 110 or 120 right on the M4, just pumping it far right lane. There's this Woolworths truck in the middle lane. He's ahead of me, and then there's this road bike behind me, and I see him coming up. He's fucking flying, bro. 200 easy. He's flying. He's in the middle lane. This fucking truck puts on his right-hand blinker to come into my lane, and this fucking bike shoots past me, sees the Woolworths truck, gets in the right lane. The fucking Woolworths truck's still turning right, and then he just pumps it. He's just missing the line. He pumps it straight past the line. Doing 250 now. And it was just like, bro, if you got clipped or like if you just lost balance, bro, you'd be shredded. You'd be absolute, like your mum wouldn't recognize you anymore. So I wouldn't be doing shit like that. It's so scary. You know?
I can see myself just being that person. You know what I mean? It's too easy.
You just can't be. You can't be. You know what I mean? Like I did think about that a little bit. It's like, fuck. I mean, hopefully once I get a bit confident with it, I'm still like, you know, cautious.
Yeah.
But, it's so fun,
with
man.
driving, I guess I've grown up a lot. I don't speed when I drive anymore. Like I just can't afford to lose my license again. Oh, that's what I want to talk about, Carm. What's it in a lot?
Oh yeah. Fuck. Let's get into it, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got an interlock system in my car. I get it out on Monday actually. It's good. So on Monday, I took the day off work. I got to go get it out. But I got caught drink driving.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got caught drink driving. So for a whole year, got a little fucking interlock in my car.
Yeah.
And it's so fucked. Hey, like I remember the first time I got it. I went to pick up Josh and Zoe was in the car and Zach and probably Alex as well. I picked them all up. We're going somewhere. And none of them have seen it yet. And have you seen an interlock yet?
I know what it looks like, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
have you seen anyone use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, eh? So, like, no one's seen it. No one knows how to use it. And I go to start up my car and I just, pick it up and, because you have to hum. It doesn't let you not hum. So you're like, for like 30 seconds, dude. And everyone just, you feel like a fuckwit, eh? Everyone's just cracking up. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
So I got done. It was on New Year's for drink drive. I was mid-range, 0.123. And for a full year, so it's fucking expensive, eh? So every month you get it installed. It's like $120 to install, something like that. Then every month you got to go back to the same place, and it's like $140 to service it. And now I've done all the services. Now I've got to go back on Monday, get it uninstalled for $130 or something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's done. But like
all up, $1,500.
Bro, I added it all up. So like once I lost my license, so I got like fined $400 and something. Got my license gone, so I had to get another one. While they were at it, they gave me a fucking ball tire defect. So that was like another $200 fine, a couple of fucking demerits. And then plus the service every month and the install and uninstall. I spent like over almost $5,000 just on that one mistake. You know what I mean? They make you pay hard. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Fuck.
But it's almost done now. So getting it out.
Good work. You made it.
I made it, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny how common it is, eh? Like I'll go into the service center where you get it serviced and I'll chat to the people there. I like chatting to everyone. And like so many people have it. Like apparently it surprised me, a lot of mums have it. Yeah. So mums like that spend their day at home. They'll drop the kids off in the morning, do a bit of cleaning and shit, go out for lunch with the girls, have a glass of wine or two. Yeah. And then they're like, fuck, gotta go pick up the kids. They blow like fucking mid-range, almost high range. Because two glasses of wine, like what's wine, like 6-7%? Yeah. Like it's a lot. Yeah. And like, so like a couple of times I pulled up there and then like a family of 5's like pulling out. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not that bad. Yeah. At least I didn't have kids in my car.
One of my mates, he was meant to come over last Sunday or the Sunday before and do a pod. And I call him up and I'm like, he's another mate that has an interlock too. So every time we talk, it's funny. I get to fucking like have a laugh about it. He's on the phone to him. He's
Yeah.
seconds. Sorry, bro. Beep,
Yeah, I
push it
hate
down.
it. Yeah. When you're on the phone and you got to blow, yeah.
I've seen this TikTok once of this chick. She's like, when you're on a first date, she's like,
I've seen a couple
what's
of these.
that? What's that over there? Then the guy looks and then
Yeah.
looks back and she's like,
Yeah, bro. Bro, social media is so targeted today. The day I got my interlock, I saw that.
yeah.
The day I got my interlock, it was like some Australian cunt with a fucking mullet, and he was on a date, and he was like, "What's that over there?" You know, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, well, that mate that was meant to come to the pod, I called him, I said, you coming? He's like, sorry, bro, I don't think I can come. I'm like, I knew you'd do this, you fucking piece of shit. We only talked about this yesterday. I've been hassling you. And he goes, yeah, bro, like, I just got out of hospital. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I fell over last night, broke me spine. I'm like,
What?
like, oh, sad cunt. Sad cunt, bro.
What the fuck? Just broke his spine?
Yeah.
Oh my god, is he
Full
alright?
fractured, like, you could barely walk and shit. Like,
Oh, dude.
I was like, yeah, all right, you got an excuse, bro.
That's a
I'll let
good
you
one.
get out
That's
of
a
it.
good one.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to pull out, break your spine.
Yeah, you gotta break your spine. Anything less than that, no,
Yeah.
you gotta come in.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. It's fucking... I don't know about a motorbike. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll see. To be honest, I don't even know if I'd have much time to ride a fucking motorbike, but if I had one...
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, after coming back from Thailand, like, riding the mopeds was so fun. Like, it's a good feeling. Just,
Yeah.
like, you've got the wind in your face and, like... Just, I
It
don't know.
really
It's
is
just,
a
it's just,
fucking-
it's just fun. It's exhilarating. It's a
Yeah.
good way to describe it. It's just exhilarating.
But
you know what I
imagine it
mean?
rained on you and you're
Well,
going
that's a
to
shit
work.
thing, you know what I mean? I'm not going to drive it to work all the time or nothing. Like, I'm still a car driver. My
Yeah.
car's my main mode of transport. I'm getting it as a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Just so, like, maybe on the weekend, on a Sunday or something, go for a ride with
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Al or something up the mountains, you know? Do some
Yeah.
windy roads and shit.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool.
Especially trekking to the mountains. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I
you know
love
what I mean?
the mountains.
Trek
yeah.
up to the mountains. You got them massive hills, massive windy roads. Like it's just and like the movement is fun. you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Like
yeah.
it just I don't know. It's something about it. So
You're right. It definitely is fucking...
it's definitely it's
great
scary.
feeling.
It's fucking brutal. You
Yeah,
can die.
yeah.
Like I remember I've seen so many bad accidents. Like I've seen this accident online, or never in real life. I've seen this accident online where this Indian guy. He must have been in India, and he was riding a moped, pumping it on a moped, and he's got shorts on, thongs on, short sleeve shirt. Comes off, fucking slides just on his left leg, only exclusively his left leg. So anyway, you don't get to see him come off. You just see him when he's stopped, and he's sitting on the side of the road holding his leg up, and it's just like a string of spaghetti.
Oh.
You know what I mean? He just slid the whole way on his leg because he's wearing shorts, and yeah, it's just meat hanging like strands of spaghetti.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, shit like
I
that
don't
keeps
need
you
to
in,
see
it
that.
keeps you in check. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, that could be me.
If everyone listening, there will not be a link in the description. Like, fuck
the
me.
description for that one, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's a bit brutal.
Yeah, fuck, you do your own research, boys, if you don't
Yeah,
see that.
but then I've seen some cool shit. Like I've seen like at least twice, like two video, or maybe it was the same video where like this guy's riding on a freeway. I think it's in America, and this car hits him. And he does a flip and then like lands on
Standing
it
up.
like fucking
Yeah, I've
Spider-Man, like a
seen
sick
that.
one. Yeah,
That's
I've seen
mad.
that one.
There'll be a
That's
link
cool.
to that in the description.
Yeah, that's a sick one, dude. That's sick. He's just like Spider, and then he lands like Spider-Man too. He
Yeah.
goes, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah. Yeah, it's sick. You gonna take that?
Yeah, I might just take that, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's alright, we'll take a quick pause.
Break.
That's fine. Well, I'm glad we had to have that quick break because I remembered something that I haven't done in a very long time on the podcast, and that's a thing called Deep Questions.
Oh,
I fucking love doing this thing. I just always fucking forget about doing it.
okay.
Alright, so
Shoot, mate.
if there's any boring questions, I'm just going to skip past them, and when I edit it back, no one will really know I did it. But, say you answer first, then I'll answer, and then every now and then I'll answer first, and then you can answer that way. It doesn't feel like a full interrogation.
Okay.
But they're all completely randomly generated. One of these questions that first came up, and the reason I like doing it too is because we would never think about asking each other this
These are
shit,
just some
you know what
deep
I mean?
questions just out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
Alright, sweet. Alright, what's a common misconception that you think people have about you?
A common misconception about myself. Fuck it, these are deep questions, aren't they? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't want to say anything too incriminating, eh? Fuck. Misconception about myself.
What do you think I'm going to think too? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not an easy one.
It's hard, yeah.
If you were older, probably people would have more of a misconception, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I like to think I'm a pretty like forward front guy. I feel like people know most things about me. I don't really try and hide too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Mine's actually pretty easy now that I think about it. Because people have a misconception based on, like, certain tattoos are getting certain places.
That's good, yeah.
People often, like, are a bit more, I want to say intimidated, but I don't want that to sound, like, egotistical. But, like, people do say to me often, like, "Oh, you're actually a fucking sweetheart." Like, especially girls would say that always. Fuck,
Yeah.
you're actually a fucking sweetheart, you know. And then I think to myself, like, yeah, I know. I always forget because I look down. I have no tattoos. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
If
You don't get to see any.
none. I have none. Unless I have no singlet on, then I can see like my waist or my chest. But my arms are clean, my legs are clean, my hands are I can clean. Like, I don't have tattoos.
Yeah, that's right. In your perception,
Yeah.
you don't really have anything.
So I guess that'd be the closest one I can think of.
Misconception, yeah. They think you're a bit of a bad boy, but you're actually a sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm actually as fucking nice as I can be. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know. I'm pretty like I said, I'm pretty open book. I think most people know pretty much everything about
Yeah.
me. Can't really think of anything that's a misconception.
Well, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. If you don't have one, then that's
I don't
fucking.
think so. I
that's
mean, I don't
a
know.
win.
I'm sure all the people that know me are watching this are like, hold on, what about this? But I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything for you either. I like that one. That's cool. What about this one? If you had to pick someone else to win the lottery, who would you pick?
Oh, one of the boys. Easy.
One of the boys,
One of the boys.
yeah.
Oh, actually,
Well,
that's a good question. Maybe it'd be family.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, it is quite hard. Like, yeah, you know what? Actually, no, it would probably be my dad. I'd give my dad the lotto. You know?
Yeah.
And then he'd fucking give me some. Give me some. Plus, he needs it.
Yeah.
He's an old man now, so if I could give someone, yeah, I'd fucking set him up. And then plus, he's my dad, so he could set me up.
Yeah,
you know what
true,
I mean? So
true. Yeah.
if anyone could win the lotto, yeah, I'd give it to me dad.
Yeah, I've said this about my mum. I'd say she can have it. But let's change the question a little bit, right?
Yeah.
If you had to choose between you winning $100 million and you keeping all of it, or you only get to keep $1 million of it and you had to give the $99 million out to other people, which one would you pick?
Well, I'll just choose 100 million, and then I could just give out as much millions as I
No, but
want.
what if you can't? You can't. There's no ways around it. It's not one of those trick questions. Because $100 million, bro, that's like...
It's a lot.
That's because that's just when you can't give it to your fucking family you have now, but you will be able to give it to generationally, like to your kids. That's generational money. But then you're the
like
only
100
person
million
that you ever have in your life right now that can benefit out of that 100 million. You can't be buying everyone around you nice shit with it.
I was gonna say like 100 million is a lot, but it's like it's only like 100 houses.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I
But
could just
100
buy
houses
everyone
is
100
unlimited
I could just buy
houses.
everyone a house.
Yeah, but you can't. So
Okay, right. So let me think about that for a second then. So it's either I get 100 million or I get 1
individually,
million.
yeah, you can't spend it on anyone.
I think.
Because
It's a hard because I don't think I fucking know 99 people.
yeah, but you could also give fucking like 1 million to yourself, 5 million to this person, 5 million to that
So I
person,
can
and
just
then you
divvy
have
it
the
up a little bit
lease.
bigger.
But or you could donate. Let's just say you can only give 1 million. You can still donate. You could
But if
easily
I-
give out 99 million.
If I keep the 100 million, I can't give it out.
You can't.
It's just
It's a
mine.
lonely island.
Yeah, I would choose the million because a million's so much. Dude.
Yeah.
A million's so much. And then like imagine you just gave someone $1 million.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine the fucking feeling.
That's one of my ultimate
You
dreams.
know what I mean?
eh?
And especially people that need it. You know, go to your family, have a meal, go to
Yeah.
Docs, have a meal, bro. Get some mad shit for the podcast. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It'd cause a lot of happiness. I like to think that like, if you causing other people happiness brings on a lot of happiness to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
just their feeling of happiness. It's contagious. You know what I mean? So like, I'll get them because $1 million's a lot.
Yeah.
$1 million, I'd buy a nice house, I'd have a little bit of change. Plus now I've got all these millionaire friends.
Yeah.
Now I've got 99 millionaire friends as well. So
Yeah. That's the best part of it. You'll be creating an army, bro.
Yeah.
You'll be creating an army.
here's just a random question I thought of off that, right? I think it's pretty common. So if you had a button in front of you,
Oh, I love this question. Ask me. I love this question. I love this
And every
question.
time you
I
press
thought
it-
about it yesterday.
every time you press it, you get $1 million, but you lose 1 year of your own life.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking. Okay.
Would you press it? And if so, how many times?
All right. So I have $1 million.
But you lose. See, there's multiple cases to that because you could have it so it's like you lose a year of your life, or you could say like if someone dies. Every time you
Yeah,
press it
yeah.
sort of thing.
Well, I
But
like
we'll
the
go
way
with your
you
own
asked.
life. This
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
We'll go with
Okay,
your own
cool.
life.
Because this is a good subject because I've thought about this hard yesterday. All right. So it's going to take a year off my life and I get $1 million.
And you don't know when you're going to die, obviously.
I think at the rate in which science is progressing, age is becoming more and more of a thing of the past. You know, when they reckon, I listened to a podcast today, they reckon that with quantum computers, the processing power is going to be so unbelievable that they're going to be able to put in algorithms that we can't possibly compute right now. So it's a race for quantum computers. When they have that, they're going to start creating cures for shit like age. So immortality will actually be a practical thing that we can think of. So if that's the case, I think I would probably press it. Let's go 7 times.
7 years?
7 times.
7 years gone.
Yeah, I'd make it because I think that I could help make those 7 years back. Because if I think about it, that'd be 7 years off what my life would be like now. But now
7 million,
I
you
don't
could
have that
prolong
much
your life.
money
10
to make
years.
myself last longer. If I had $7 million right now, I could invest that 7 million and I could only have a bunch of spending money to come in, but all that extra money could be towards things like ultraviolet lighting and fucking peptides and fucking stem cells. And you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I could make
Spend
those
all
7
the
years.
millions on all the.
I could actually live longer because I have the money to make myself healthier.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I reckon I would do it. I reckon I would risk it with the 7 million.
All right.
What about you?
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I probably at least once. Fuck 1 year. Oh well, shit happens. At least once, 1 mil. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It starts getting, every
I know,
every
I
press
know.
you're like fuck a little bit. Like, because what if you were to die at 24?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 23 this year. So what if
Yeah.
I was to die at 24 and I went,
You're dead.
now I'm dead?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a
Big
risk.
gamble.
But it's like oh, that's
hard.
good money.
Yeah.
It's a hard question, eh?
Well,
I'd probably I'd press it a good couple times. Maybe 5.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
see,
At least
yeah,
once.
fuck yeah, let's
at
go.
least once, maximum 5.
Yeah,
You know what I
fuck
mean? Like,
yeah.
what's 5 years for 5 mil?
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
know.
Like, fuck, I was gonna live to 80. Now I'm 75.
yeah, he's a good run, bro.
a good
75
run.
years.
75 is
Plus,
good.
now you've got money for the rest of that
Now you're
time.
enjoying that time. It's
Yeah.
like, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be pressed. It's got to be pressed. But now the ultimate question is, what if you press it and you get $1 million, but someone in the world dies?
That's the hard one.
That's the hard one.
But like, see, it all depends, right? So obviously, if it's just random, it's really hard. But if it's like, it's killing some bad motherfuckers.
Yeah. If it's a bad person, press it until your hand gets
press
sore.
it, press all
Like
all
a
of it.
poker machine.
Keep pressing it.
Yeah.
That's
That'll be
right.
my new gambling.
But
game.
yeah, if it's random, you could be killing like someone you know, someone that's innocent.
Not just that, you
someone that's
now
not
have
innocent.
the conscience of knowing
That
that
you've
you
killed
killed
someone.
someone. Is that your
Exactly.
ticket to heaven? Is that your afterlife to misery? Like,
Yeah.
how do you live with yourself? Like, do you just
It's true.
block that out, and then when does that
Yeah.
come back on you?
I don't think I could press it, to be honest with you.
Well, here's what I was thinking yesterday. If you had the button in front of you, it would all depend of how long you got to stare at that button for, depending on whether you pressed it or not. If you had the option of just being like, no, then your button's taken away from you, it's easy. But if you were told you had to have this button for the rest of your life, I think that everyone would press it at least once.
I think so. I think intrusive thoughts just get the best of you. That's like, have you heard of there's this experiment where they get like 20 people or so, and they sit them down in a blank room, no pictures, no nothing, everything's white. They just get a table and a chair, and they've got a button in front of them. And they're told at the very beginning, if you press this button, you're going to get a little electrical zap. So don't press the button. Right? And everyone goes in there like, I don't want to get zapped. I'm not going to press the button. And it takes less than 12 seconds. This shit you not, bro. Maximum 30 seconds. And they go, fuck, bro, I've been sitting here for 30 seconds. No stimulants whatsoever. It's better to get zapped. You know what I mean? And then every time, bro, it takes 30 seconds at the max. They press the button.
Wow.
So it's like, it's the same sort of thing. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
had that button in there, the longer that it's just sitting in front of you, the more
Yeah.
you're like, what's one person?
Yeah.
What's another? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Well,
I wouldn't press it. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'd like
I
to think I wouldn't.
disagree. I think after enough time, everyone would press it, bro. That would be like the ultimate human to not press it ever.
Oh, that's me.
Like, think about how many. Yeah, true.
I'm joking.
True. But think about how many times in your life where the money could pull you out of a situation. How many times you're down in the dumps, the world's out to get you, your missus breaks up with you, you
Yeah.
fucking, you just
There's all these
crashed your
situations
car,
where
you're broke,
you'd
you
love to press
fucking.
it.
Yeah, bro.
But like,
I'm sure
it's a
eventually
human
you'd
life,
press
though.
it.
You know, it's crazy.
I know. But I'm sure at some point you could separate yourself. Imagine you got blind drunk. Like, imagine.
Oh, well, I'd be pressing it all day. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fucked. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I thought of about it was me and Fossey talked about it on the phone, and he had a concept for a movie that what if it followed a guy and he had this fucking button, and he was told that if he ever pressed it, get $1 million because someone randomly dies, and it
Yep.
followed him through his dark times, his hard, and he stuck by it. He never pressed it, and then eventually one day he presses it,
Kills his
and
mum
then
or something.
kills himself.
Oh, himself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
That's an
thought-
ultimate plot twist. I
Yeah,
like that.
great movie. Now here's what I thought for a movie as well. What if there was this button, right? And it was always being passed around between humans, and as soon as you press it, you get your $1 million, and someone else randomly gets it. You don't know who's going to get it. And it becomes like a viral thing, bro, especially with TikTok. Cunts like guess
Look, I
whose
got the
turn it
button.
is, and they press the button, you know, and it's like,
It's just uh,
there's campaigns for like pressing the button, there's campaigns for don't press the
Yeah,
button, there's
yeah.
sad stories of people who have randomly died, but there's also stories of this fucking
Like, yeah.
person who's been saved because someone was about to kill them and someone pressed the
Oh,
button. Thank
shit.
God,
Yeah,
thank God.
right.
It's a big part of life. And then another thing about that, if it was real, is what if, say you got the button, right? And now you've just woken up with the button next to you. You know, press this, $1 million, the button's gone. But it'll kill someone. So you don't tell anyone you have this button.
So the
all of a
ultimate-
sudden the hunt's out for the button. Because if you said to someone, I have the button, or you post about it, people want that $1 million. They're going to come try and kill you and take that
the
button
button.
off you. So now you have the option of pressing it and getting rid of it or hiding it, you know what I mean? And then the search for the button goes. And there's always going to be someone that people tell. And then the whole world's after that one person. That person's famous.
Sounds like a pretty thrilling movie, eh?
I think that would be a crazy society, bro. I think that we need something like that.
I don't know. You need it. We need it. You reckon? I don't know. I reckon that would fuck. I don't know. That much power, I reckon, would even divide society into a bad way. You know what I mean? Something that powerful would be like, because already, like, if you've got like fucking in like politics today, cunts are on 50-50. You know what I mean? It's either you're on this side or that side, sort of thing. But like, that would divide so many people. You know what I mean? It's either press the button or not press the button.
Yeah.
And then like you've even seen with all like the shit going on now, like people hate each other if you don't agree.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or not, they just fuck. So imagine the hate and the intensity of like, you should push the button, you fucking shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
That'd be intense.
It'd be like, kind of like you get it. Sometimes you get it, and then sometimes you don't. Like, oh, you selfish cunt. But then sometimes you hear people's stories, and you're like, fuck, I probably would have pressed that button too. You know what I mean? And it's like then it becomes a thing. Is like, is it human nature to press the button? Is it really a
It's
bad
definitely a moral
thing?
dilemma.
It's a moral dilemma, but it's like a lion doesn't have a moral dilemma for killing a fucking baby deer. Lion doesn't have no moral dilemma.
I think they do, to be honest.
You reckon they do?
So there's this one video specifically that I'm referring to where this lion goes to eat a baby fucking deer, and it just decides not to. And then 20 years down the track, it grows up, and the deer's like thinks it's a fucking lion club almost. It hangs out with it. It fucking spends every day with it. Because the cool thing about it was like, it fucking ran after the deer, and the mum just left it. The mum was like, fuck that. Oh, well, you're gone.
Yeah.
Natural selection, laters.
Yeah.
And then the lion was like, oh, just fuck, poor little baby. And it didn't kill it. And then another lion ran in to kill it. And this lion was like, well, I think it was the lioness. I think it was actually lioness, not lion. And it just fucked the other lion up. And I was like, no, this is my deer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think like if you're a living creature, because I'm not like a very religious person personally, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's a good and a bad. You know what I mean?
course,
I'm almost
of
like
course.
more into karma sort of thing. Like I don't really believe in anything too, like
Spiritual.
too crazy. But like, I think most living things know the difference between good and bad. You know what I mean? You know it's good to fucking not kill, and you know it's bad to kill.
But you
I mean?
also know you have to fucking survive. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. But then that's where you get moral fucking blurred lines.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you know what I mean? Like like I can say pretty much personally myself, like anytime I've been in a bad situation or if I've done anything bad, I've known the right thing to do.
Yeah, of course.
You know what
So
I mean?
you always know the right thing to do. You always know.
You know what I mean? It's always there. It's just you kind of choose not to do it, and then that's what kind of differentiates you between good and bad.
Yeah,
you know what I
true.
mean? So
True. It's your
I
own
think
personal
most living,
journey.
I think it's all humans, but I kind of extend it to like most living life form. Like I reckon there's just this thing you've got a gut feeling. You can't explain a gut feeling, can you? You know what I
Nah.
mean? But everyone's got it, and you know, fuck, I shouldn't, or I should be doing this. You know what I mean? So
It's like a dog that like fucking you've seen the viral videos of a dog that just rips apart something, and then the guy comes home and he's like, "Who did it?" And the dogs are all like,
yeah,
they know they did the wrong
know,
thing.
they're like, oh, but
"We just
sorry.
fucked up his couch."
Sorry, bro. That's
Yeah.
right. It's 100%. I think everything's got like a gut feeling. I can't explain it really, but there's something. You know what I mean? Like there's
You're right.
You can differentiate between good and bad. I reckon.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets hard. Especially like the more like lucrative it is. You know what I mean? The more it's harder to judge whether it's good or bad. But like 90% of things you can tell. You just can tell. Like it's like fucking.
Yeah.
But then you have those intrusive thoughts, right? Like, do you ever be driving and you'll be like, you don't know why you're doing it. I do it all the time. You'll be driving, you'll be like, fuck, I could just like crash
Oh,
and
of
kill
course.
myself. Or you'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll be on site fucking using a grinder and I'm like, fuck, imagine I just...
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course,
your brain
of
just
course.
thinks about
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
like, fuck, this could just happen. That
Yeah.
you could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's chemical imbalance. They've actually noticed that when that things happen, you actually have a spike in certain proteins and things like that. There's actually a formula for your body actually wanting something to be different.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy.
So it's like your brain's actually telling you like, yeah, do something drastic to change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
That is pretty wild.
Yeah. But yeah, I have those thoughts all the time too. I constantly battle with thoughts where it's like, and you know what's worse? When you try not to think of thoughts, that's when the thoughts keep coming back
That's when you think the most.
Yeah, I find that with myself anyway. Every time I think of something that's just like, it's just super just weird or even cringy or just something that's just like, why am I thinking like this? That's all I can think about. I can't get rid of that fucking thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do notice it as well. Especially if I'm at heights, I think to myself, like, what if I just jumped?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get that feeling. You're just like, I know. Because that goes back to that gut feeling because you know you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But then you've got that like moral. You're like your brain just thinks, but you could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you could.
That's what I had when I was at that lookout at the sunrise and I was looking over the cliff. I was like, what if? What if? Like, I'm not suicidal at all. I'm enjoying the beautiful day. But what if I just jumped?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it even goes into some things like, so it's just like, what if I just fell? You know what I mean? But then that kind of almost makes you appreciate shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that when you're doing something and you're like, fuck, what if I did just fucking put a grinder through my face? Luckily, I didn't. And then you're like, fuck, I'm alive. This is good.
But I get it in the barber every time I get in my beard shaped up.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like,
Imagine.
what if he just killed me? You know?
Yeah. It could happen. You know?
Yeah. So I'm always like kind of like my hands are never like comfortable. I'm always just like prepared just to grab his arm.
No.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. All right. Well, I like how we got to that. So you see the power of this app?
That's a good. Yeah, it's good. It started off that, and it went
Started
to the
off with,
butt-in.
what if you gave someone the lotto?
Yeah, wow. And then fucking hell. And then we went to like intrusive thoughts. Jump in.
Fathers, bro.
Good and bad, good and evil.
You know, I'm thinking about getting a haircut.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, wow. All right. Let's just see what this says. What does who you spend time with say about you? I like this question. What does who you spend time with say about you? How could you answer that?
Right.
I
think it says a lot about you. Who you spend time with is like, I feel, especially the most amount of your time is kind of like what you're projecting the most, you know what I mean? Like you hang out with people that are like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the people that you hang around says a lot. You know what I mean? You chose to hang out with those people. You know what I mean? It's, you know, so like their actions, their characters is probably almost similar to your own characteristics and actions. You know, you probably small differences, but you got like along the same train of thought. You know what I mean? Who you hang out with is a big thing. I reckon. Like it's like it would affect who you become as well. You might be a completely different person now, but if you choose to hang out with these specific people, that kind of changes your trajectory to be, you know, more like them or something, you know?
Well, they say that you're the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's actually the scientific proof equation for all societies across the planet.
Makes sense.
So that's why they say if you want to become successful, you have to surround yourself with successful people, always be the dumbest person in the room, all these things. But I think that, and I think about it a lot too, like, you don't have to be limited to 5 people that you surround yourself with. You can surround yourself with 5 business people when you want to be growing in business. You can survive yourself with 5 people who want to laugh when you just want to have a laugh. Like you're not limited. I feel like that quote is very limited to only knowing 5 people. I don't think so at all. When I'm surrounding myself with my family, I only want to be feeling communal love. That's the only feeling I want to be feeling. When I want to hang out with the boys, I want to be having a good time. And yeah, there's love and shit with both sides of it, but they're
it's
different
still different.
things.
It's very different. It's
way
right.
different. When I'm at work, I want to be with the best fridges in the trade. That doesn't mean I want to be hanging out with them on Christmas Day.
That's right. Yeah, you just want their skill right now.
Yeah, I want to learn with them. I want to be in the mix. I want to be a part of a team. So I feel like the question, what does who you spend time with say about you? I reckon it's what you feel like doing at that present time.
That's a good way to say it, actually, because it depends. Yeah, because who you're hanging out with definitely affects like who you're becoming. But yeah, like you said, you can hang out with so many different people.
Yeah, and as we both discussed, we feel like chameleons anyway. We go into one room, we feel one way, we can act one way. You don't have to be just limited, and that's probably like with that previous question. What's a misconception people have about you? maybe some people have a misconception about me that I am one thing, but I'm not. I'm trying to chase fucking 20 different paths, and I'm trying to walk down them all at the same time. I'm not limited to being a great Friggy, being a fucking great podcaster, being a fucking great friend or a great family member. I also want to be an explorer. I also want to do all these things.
But it's hard to say but you are all those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You literally are all those things, and like you'll probably learn lessons from one of those things that help the other. You know what I mean,
it's cool.
as well?
I like that fact. I like it how one thing can just help another thing.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
You know what I mean? They're not connected at all, but it's like learning to love your family, right, more when you hang out with them. It actually makes you more calm and peace at heart. So when you're working, you can have a clearer mind and you don't get stressed and flustered. You're more focused on it, you know what I mean? Because home life's good. So like they probably...
That makes sense.
Yeah, everyone you hang out with is a big part of it, but I don't think it's separated to what, like, I hang out with these 5 people, I'm going to be these 5 people. It's just like, I get interactions and I get like advice from these 5 people, but I've also got 20, 30 fucking other people that do that as well. But all those people together though, it plays a bigger part in your personality almost, you know what I mean? Who you hang out with a lot, you know.
And I wonder if the science is caught up to today's society. I wonder if it has anything to do with who you listen to, because I listen to, say, Joe Rogan, I listen to the fucking Nelk Boys, Theo Von, Chris D'Elia, all these comedians and podcasters, entertainers. They're the most people... I probably listen to them speak more than the people I know, to be honest with you.
Just for hours on end speaking. Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll have a input in who I become.
I definitely think so. You can't not listen to them and not take something from it. You know what I mean? Like, you spend an hour listening to them, even if they're talking... you know, just jokes and stuff that's not like, you'll find something within those jokes that you can relate to and expand on, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're probably getting heaps from them.
Well, then in that case, then I don't know if the quote is even, I don't know if that would even be a real thing anymore. You're a product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Can't be true. I don't know if I can believe it.
It is weird. I think you're just a product of everyone you spend time with. You even if you're spending time with someone that you don't like, right, and then there's a bad thing, you're learning from them the bad, and you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. So even that, in that situation, if you don't like them, you don't hang out with them much. When you do hang out with them, you're learning to not be them. Yeah. So you are, you know, it's not like you're not becoming them, but you're definitely learning lessons from them. You know what I mean? Everyone you hang out with, there's something to learn, I reckon.
Well, I think also, like, what if I spend my say the Skate Dogs was all the people I was hanging out with all the time, right?
Yeah.
And that was the fucking, I didn't have any other friends other than that. But what if I met someone along the lines one time who was like, say I read fucking the David Goggins book I just read, and he's just told me this crazy story about joining the Navy. And then that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head, join the Navy. Just because I spend my 5 times with the Skate Dogs, it doesn't mean that they're a product of who I am, because that's not what I'm thinking about.
No, that's right. That's true. That's 100% true. Because even if you are a product of like the people you hang out with the most, you're still your own person. Yeah. You still have your own thoughts, and you're going to influence them because they're hanging out with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a weird saying, because it's not, I am the 5 people I hang out with. It's the 5 people you hang out with are you as well, just as the other 20 people, you know what I mean? You're all learning from each other. It's like it's a mutual experience.
Yeah. And it's like everyone's got an origin story for when every decision was originally thought. Like to join the fucking Navy, if I was to do that today, that might be my origin story from reading that book from David Goggins. But instead, it'd be like, say my origin story for fucking starting the podcast was listening to my first ever podcast or having my first ever conversation. It's not that everyone has an origin story of who they become. Every fucking decision you ever make has an origin story of when you decided to make it.
That's right. Every decision you make has a big cause and effect.
Yeah.
That's right. You could be going one way and be this person, but then you meet someone or listen to something and it completely just throws you off your trajectory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
like, you know how you just randomly think of a conversation like once every year or once every 6 years that you had years ago? I do this and I'm like, why is that such a permanent part of my brain? One of them for me would be like, I did breakdancing when I was a kid, say I was 10, and then there was a kid in the class, and then we're going over our routine kind of thing, and then this kid's like, we didn't do that last week, and I was like, yeah, we did, and I was like, you didn't come last week, and he looked at me and he's like, no, you, and then like we went back into our lesson listening to the instructor, and then I started to remember as we were doing it, like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't go last week, he wasn't there the week before. And then, for some reason, I have never stopped thinking about that. It's my whole life.
Yeah, it's weird what sticks with you, eh?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Yeah.
So I wonder if that has anything to do with who I am today. Like,
yeah, maybe you learnt, like, that's a very good life lesson. It's like, don't, think about it. You know what I mean? You could be very confident that you're right.
Yeah.
But you just miss something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's honestly probably a life lesson. That's why you remember it so much, because
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, I'm not always right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, I imagine from you telling that story, you were super confident. Like,
I was 100%
you
confident.
remembered last week.
I was like, dude, what? You're wrong. I'm right.
Yeah.
And then
probably-
his
yeah.
look on his face, I saw him be confused. Like, no, what? And then I'm thinking, what? Why are you so confused?
He's just confused.
Are you dumb?
You an idiot? What the fuck?
How do you not know you weren't here last week? And then
But it
as
was
I'm
actually you.
as I'm breaking it down, bro, and then I'm like, oh my god.
I'm the idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. All right. Let's get to another one.
That was a good one.
What's the biggest question you have about the future?
Ooh. So, as in like my future or in the future of society? As in like,
Whichever one you want to go down, I'm happy to go down.
Big questions, big questions. So, the future. Sorry, what was it? The most worried or
No, not worried. Just what biggest question?
just biggest question?
You can, if you relate it to being worried about something, that's fine. If you're just curious about
Biggest
something,
question
that's
about the
fine.
future. Well, actually, no. Biggest question about the future is just the future in general. Like, I'm so curious as to like, are we gonna go to space? We're gonna go to Mars? We're gonna fucking get this Neuralink?
Well,
Is AI
I think
gonna
the
fucking,
answer is yes to all those.
Is AI gonna fucking take over?
Yeah.
Like, I'm very just interested in general. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very, especially right now, it's a crazy time to be alive. Like, fuck, are we gonna like? That would be amazing, bro. If we were like became a multi-planet species, dude,
Yeah.
that's like a big dream of mine.
Yeah.
Like, even as a kid, dude, I was always just like, fuck yeah.
But,
As-
but I don't think that's a question, to cut you off. I think that's where we're
you
heading.
think that's happening?
Yeah, I don't think that's a question. I don't think we can't. I don't think we
don't
can't.
think so?
Unless somehow we go into a war, a nuclear war. That
Well,
would be
that's
the
a-
only thing that could stop that.
That's a big question, actually, as well. Like, hopefully there's no war.
Yeah.
You'd think, like, it's been, what, like, 80 years since the last war?
Mm-hmm.
You'd think, like, we wouldn't want any more. For 80 years, we're like, fuck that, last time. That's it, last time. But now it's
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
know,
So
I know.
that's a big question, I reckon. That I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I'm a bit scared of the war. Like, I wouldn't want fucking, I don't want a fucking nuclear war.
Yeah, no.
Imagine that shit.
An end to society.
Even if
as
it's
we
like,
know
even
it.
if Australia completely survives, with like, because we don't really have, we're not a big player in the war. You know what I mean? We help America out, we'll send them troops and shit. But it's like,
The problem
there's
is we're
no
a pawn. We're a pawn in the game of chess.
exactly. That's the only problem. But it's like, it's not like we're a main target for nukes or anything. But like, if one nuke went off just in Ukraine or something, that would drastically fucking
Change
change
the whole
everything.
planet.
The whole
Yeah.
planet's like, fuck now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, if you set one nuke off, is some kind gonna set another one off? So even if everyone just fucking nuked each other and Australia was alright, that'd be fucked.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
a scary thought. Like, that's probably my biggest question about the future is just, what is the future?
Yeah.
Is it going to be war? Are we going to become a multi-planet fucking civilization? I hope so. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. We're going to fucking, is AI going to take over and fucking go, oh, you know what? Humans are actually fucking petty and evil, and like there's some good ones, but they've got really bad traits, so let's fucking exterminate them.
Oh.
There's a lot of questions about the future, I reckon, and all of them are fucking interesting. All of them are so. But it's good though. It's good that the future's exciting. You know what I mean? I
The
reckon,
unknown is what makes life so beautiful. The unknown.
That's right, 100%. Because you never know what you're going to be. Like, even like if I looked at myself 10 years ago, fuck, who would have thought I'd be here
Yeah,
doing a
I know.
podcast with Doxy, fucking chilling, you know, fucking.
I couldn't have planned. I couldn't have predicted this
Yeah.
10 years ago. No.
It's hard to predict things. Things you're doing right now, you wouldn't have done 10 years ago. Like getting my motorbike license and shit, fucking just everything. It's just like you've got
Now
a whole
imagine
new
10
outlook.
years from now. Imagine,
Exactly. So what am I
imagine-
going to do when I'm 30? You know what I mean? 30, I'm going
Yeah.
to have a different outlook. Like, fuck, when I was 20, I was dumb. I was just
Yeah.
thinking about pussy and this and that. Fucking now I'm thinking about this. So
Yeah.
just the future in general is just such a crazy.
Yeah, how do you
crazy thought.
begin, bro? What's the biggest question? What's the biggest question? I don't know. I think if to talk about nuclear things, I think that one interesting thing lately has been that there has been a peace treaty for a very long time that countries have been trying to put together, especially America and England and all these popular first world countries, and that's to end the nuclear dilemma, and that's
Just
just
get
to
rid of nukes.
delete them all. Just delete them all.
The only problem with that is though, is like, how do you know someone didn't keep one?
You can't. So you have to have.
You
a
have to, everyone
backup
has to
plan.
have one. So, but it's fucked how crazy that is, right? Like, our solution to nukes is give everyone nukes.
But yeah, but that's safer than let everyone have unlimited nukes. Give everyone a nuke.
Yeah.
You know, that's so much better than what we have now. I think
Yeah,
we
well,
have
now,
enough now
so
to
many.
something like blow up the Earth like 1,000 times or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Just in Russia alone.
Yeah.
And then America's got more.
America has the most.
And then
yeah.
China's got some too.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I think probably fucking...
North Korea's building them like no tomorrow. You wouldn't
No.
even know how much they have.
Do they actually have nukes though? I don't think they do.
100% they
I
have
don't think
nukes,
they
bro.
have nukes, bro.
100% North
You
Korea
reckon?
would have nukes like nothing.
Bro,
Nukes,
I don't know, dude.
you
North
North
Korea is
Korea-
so povertized and they get nothing. The
Yeah, but-
only reason they're alive today is China.
No, the only reason they're
Unless
alive
China's giving
today
them
is
nukes.
because of they're a crime organization.
Yeah.
They make drugs and guns.
That's what I
If they're
mean.
making drugs and guns, they're making nukes.
It's hard. Well, they don't have nuclear waste. You have to have nuclear waste to make nukes. They don't have any nuclear plants. They're not allowed. Unless they're getting nuclear waste from China, which is a possibility.
100%.
They probably could be. Because
Yeah.
China's, they're the only trade relation, China.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, it's illegal for North Korea to buy or sell anything to anyone except for China.
Yeah, I know.
And then, because the only way North Korea makes money is like every fucking 2-3 years they go, oh, I'm gonna bomb ya.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ya.
Yeah.
And then America goes, oh, we'll give you some fucking money. We'll give you
I
some-"
think that China, they love aiding North Korea as well because it gives them a villain for the rest of the world.
That I heard that. Another thing I've heard as well is they love propping up North Korea because it's exactly that. It gives it like it show points how bad they are, so you're less likely to talk about like the Uyghurs in China and
Yeah.
all the fucked up shit China's doing. It's literally a front man. And also I heard as well like it's like a
Because
nice.
you have to have a villain. You have to have a villain.
There's got to be.
And if it's not North Korea, it's China. Yeah.
That's right.
You have to have a villain in every story. It's like that every friend group has to have the guy that everyone kind of not talk shit about, like say in your close group, but say when the group extends, that's when you have to have the people like there has to be the fall victim, the victim, there has to be the bad guy, there has to be the joke of the group, there has
There
to be
is.
that in extended groups. It has to.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's right. There's got to be a bad guy, and China's doing everything to prop up North Korea, so it's not them.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah. China scares me, eh?
Yeah.
China's a scary place, I reckon.
I've heard lately that China's actually in such a bad position right now because of the fact that they've had to limit to one child for so many years and it's only males. They're in a position now where they're actually crumbling. Their economy's actually, they're retaining like they're not, but they're actually detrimental to
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, have you seen because it's just like how any society works. So like, you've got it depends on how many people are born in what year and what they're doing. So like, if everyone had 10 children, right, back in the fucking 50s, they had 10 children, right? So that means 10 kids grew up to be, when they're 30, they're making 60 grand a year, right? So now you've got 10 children per one family looking after that one family making 60 grand a year. It's so much money that, and those people now are, what do you call it? They're consumers. So when they turn into consumers, there's 10 people per family spending all this money. So there's so much money in the economy. That's why China's so big.
Yeah.
But now they've gone one kid policy. So now those people that were 30 making all that money, they're 60. And now you've got one kid for every 10.
Yeah.
So you've got one kid earning 60,000 looking after 10 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
And that's
just,
why they have such a high suicide rate, depression rate.
that's right,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, fuck. You can't fucking... The society ain't gonna last. That's why I think that they're pulling all the strings they can to try and take over the rest of the world because they're fucked.
Well,
They can't.
I mean, I don't think they're doing too bad. Like, they're fucking making, have you heard about the whole trade deal with, like, Russia and Saudi Arabia and that? They're
Yeah.
going off because you know what the petrodollar is?
Yeah,
so
they're trying to rewrite
getting rid of it.
basically the currency,
Yeah, so they're trying to go back to a gold standard. So instead of everyone buying every single oil in the whole world using American dollars, sorry, petrodollar,
Yeah.
they want to go off a gold-based currency now. So they want to go, every bit of oil gets bought for gold. And who has the most gold?
China probably,
China, China and Russia. China
Yeah.
and Russia have been stocking gold for fucking since the Cold War.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've just got all the gold.
Yeah.
Every single bit of gold, they're buying it.
Yeah.
And so now it's a gold
I think
standard.
Africa has a shitload of gold too, actually. Africa has a lot of gold.
I know they've got a lot of like natural resources, but I don't know. The problem with Africa is like they've got all these resources, but then like China, England, America, they come in, then they go, "That's mine."
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? They go, "Use your people to fucking mine it," and
Yeah.
then it goes straight to me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, bro, I don't even know if we can answer the question. What's the biggest question about the future?
I think the biggest question about the future is the future. It is just
Yeah.
everything, you know what I mean? Whether it
Yeah.
be just like what's the politics going to happen? Are we going to leave the earth? Is there going to be wars? Is there not? Is there going to be peace? You know what I mean? It would be nice to see if that's one of my biggest things. I really like the idea of becoming a multi-planet civilization because then that's real incentive to be like, oh, I'm not Australian and you're Chinese. I'm from Earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're from Earth. fucking let's fucking be band together. You know what I mean? That's why that's one of my biggest things. I hope we become a multi-planet civilization and we all become like one. You know what I mean? One for the greater good.
I don't know if we ever will. I don't know if we ever will.
That's the
because
biggest
speaking
question.
of being an Australian, think of the judgment that you have between. And I noticed that when I became in the mix. When I became in the mix of Windsor. All right, give me 1 sec. Let me just tell this guy to shut the fuck up. Shut up. When I came out to Windsor, and I came from living in what was considered the hills, there was a massive judgment that I found that people had because it wasn't like, I don't know if it was like something to do with fucking wealth or class or fucking culture or whatever it was, but there's obviously a massive difference in people between the two areas. And there was no judgment. Maybe there was, but I just didn't notice it. But there is kind of judgment going both ways. So people, even postcodes, people represent postcodes. People represent like 21 district and 27 district, anything on fucking above Parramatta or below Parramatta. Penrith is one united place compared to Northern Beaches. They show judgment towards them. They show judgment towards them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and that's inside of Sydney and New South Wales. New South Wales versus Queensland is one of the biggest rivalries of all time.
It's true.
Queensland and Australia and America, or Australia and China, all these different countries, and India, and like their rivalries as well. So just because we open up Mars,
but see, that's
doesn't
cool
mean
thing.
you're gonna stop.
No, that's a cool thing about it, right? So as you just said, the biggest fucking rivalry, New South Wales and Queensland. But the thing is, all of that goes out the window when it's Australia versus China.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking along the same lines. It's like because like there's never really any bad blood between New South Wales and Queensland. Actually, it's all just for sport. It's all for footy. So it might be a bit different. But like even to talk about the class things is like you're like fucking Queensland, you country bumpkin sort of thing, and it's like we're city folk and that. There is a divide. But as soon as something flicks where it's like now it's not Queensland versus New South Wales, now it's Australia, but like you all unite for one thing. It's like that's why I'm really interested in the space race. Like it should be something that would unite us, you know what I mean? Because what's the point of bickering over you're Chinese and I'm fucking Australian, even if we have bad blood when we need to fucking survive. You know what I mean? Like it's all just but some people think different, so maybe it would always just be I'm Chinese, I'm China, even if it is just world.
Well, it just depends with how much money you probably have, I think, at the end of the day, because no matter what suburb I ever live in, if I'm going to fucking go to war with a fucking football team against another football team, like say I'm Penrith for fucking versus Sea Eagles, like it's an easy fucking battle to fucking get on board, that I'll never not prioritize my family, It doesn't matter about Australia and China.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess when it comes to financial gain and even security and land and fucking all this shit, I guess that fucking you're going to keep the closest people as close to you no matter what. And maybe the only reason that we have Australia as a united nation is because by believing in Australia, you can keep your family safe. So maybe only if Earth goes to war with another planet, that's when we'll all unite.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's the key thing that's different is the war. War's bad, obviously, but it does unite people. You know what I mean? It unites you to a common good, a common force. You're like, fuck. It's like, I don't really get along with you, but it's like, I get along with you more than this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's not like, I don't like you. It's just, I hate you less than I hate this guy.
Yeah.
It's true. It is a bit.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what you want, right?
So maybe
you want everyone
war
to be...
is a good thing. I'm always philosophizing about this kind of shit all the time. Love thinking about it.
It is. It's hard because, it's not good. Obviously, war's bad, but like there are like silver linings, I suppose.
But all war is wanting the best for your family. You know what I mean? War always comes from poverty and struggle and fear. Like even Hitler, like no matter how evil that cunt is, in his head, he saw that he was under threat of Jewish colonization.
He put the German people first. Yeah.
So it's like, even war comes from love.
Fuck. It's the first on the Doxcast.
Yeah.
War is love.
Yeah, shit. All right, well, actually, you know what? Speaking of love, that would probably be my biggest question about the future. Because if I was going to individualize it and not think of it as in what society is going to be like, it would be, when am I going to have found the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with? Because that's probably something that I think about a lot. Because I'm comfortable with the idea of finding one person and only having one person, as long as that person's willing to give me at least 6 children.
6 kids?
Yeah.
You want 6 kids, do you?
Yeah. So if that isn't the case, then it's going to have to be multiple women, right? Right? But hear me out. I want it to be one person. So I guess it's all about how hard I'm willing to look. But then when and where do I start looking for that person and give up?
I think I find like if you're looking, it's kind of probably the opposite of what you should be doing. Like if you go out looking for love, your heart's probably in the wrong place a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's like if you're looking for it, you're almost demanding it. You're scavenging for it. So you'll lower your standards. You know what I mean? So you're like, yeah, but I haven't found it yet. So like she doesn't want 6 kids. She only wants 2. But fuck it. But if you're just happy living your life, and all of a sudden you're like, oh look, there's a chick. She's kind of cool. She wants a big family. I do. Let's see what's going on. You know, you start it from there. I think if you go looking for stuff, it kind of clouds your view and judgment, I reckon, to be honest.
And then based on your opinion and what you think I should do with myself, because I don't know the answer, I just popped into my head. Do you think I should have the idea, because I want to have at least 6. 6 to me is a minimum.
Yeah.
So should I stick to the idea of 6 or none and be comfortable with that idea, or do I negotiate?
Sorry, say that again.
Like, do I stick to the idea of I want to have 6 kids,
and
until I find someone that wants to have 6 kids with me that I actually find enjoyable, until that person comes along, I'm going to not have any and accept the fact that I am actually comfortable on my own. Do I accept that and just say this is my criteria, or do I, as you said, lower my standards and willing to have a family of 3?
It all depends on what you want. I don't think you should lower your standards. It depends. Like, is it because you want 6 kids? Is that the big thing, or is it? Do you prefer? It might be hard, but you might have to come into question. Do I prefer having 6 kids with someone I love, or do I prefer having 2 kids with someone I love?
That's a great question.
You know what I mean?
That's a great question.
It's
Maybe I want to have
compromise
6
is a
kids.
big thing, especially with love and relationships. You know what I mean? It's like so, or it's a good question. Is like if you found the love of your life and she only wants 2, are you willing to, you know, concede and be like 2's enough because I love her, or are you like, you know, I want more, so I'll go have a couple of kids with someone else, but then you kind of, you know, delinquish the love for her. You know what I mean? But you've got your 6 kids. You kind of have to weigh up in your own head if you prefer having the 6 kids, or if you prefer the unconditional love of one person, sort of thing.
That's a great, great question.
There's nothing stopping you from finding an unconditional love from one person who wants 6 kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that should be you should be looking for that, and you should wait for that sort of thing. But like, it's hard to, you know, because what happens if you get to 50?
Yeah, I know.
Haven't found anything, you know,
I know. That's one of those things that I already have to come to terms with, because nothing is promised. Like, I could never ever have kids. Like, that's a possibility for everyone. I could not be able to have kids, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
So like, I'm not going to worry about that kind of shit, because whatever happens, happens. I'm pretty good with that. But then when it comes to like making decisions, that's one thing that I've got to learn how to do. Like, do I make the decision to negotiate or not? You know,
it's hard making decisions, because like we were talking about earlier, you don't know even 10 years if that's the right, you know, if that's what you wanted anyway. You know what I mean? It's all about figuring it out. I think compromise is a pretty big thing. You know what I mean? Obviously, you should have your standards and what you want, and that's what you should lead with. But if it comes down to giving up something for those, maybe you should compromise. You know what I mean? Depending on how big of a compromise it is. You know what I mean? You shouldn't compromise your values and go complete and have no kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? If she only wants 2, and it's like, and I love her, and you know what I mean? Compromise. I think love is a big compromise.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of the hardest fucking questions of all time. It's one of those things that I'm fucking constantly battling in my own head. Like, even when do I fucking will? Because to be honest, I just can't be dating chicks. I'm over it. Yeah. I'm over women. I've got too much shit to do. Because if I'm going to give up my time to fucking go out to some fucking dinner, I don't care.
Just waste my time.
But then, am I setting myself up that no girl is worth my time beforehand?
Sounds like that.
Or because I think that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I think I'm just writing off going out as a task instead of something that I might enjoy. So we'll fucking
that's why I think it's something that you shouldn't be looking for. So you shouldn't be going out looking for this person that wants 6 kids with you. But if you are like, find a free spot in your day and you go out just with the boys to have fun, and then all of a sudden, fuck, look, there's this chick here, Let's fucking talk to her. You know what I mean? I think it's just, you shouldn't be looking. It should just fall into your lap. You know what I mean? The happiest I've ever been in relationships and shit, I haven't been looking for it. If I go looking for it, you kind of go, oh, I'll lower my standards because you're looking for it. You want this person to be this person, even if they're not that person. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for
Jesus
it, I feel like you
Christ,
lower your
bro.
standards a bit.
Jesus Christ.
That's just my opinion, but
That was the greatest opinion I've ever heard. I'm not even kidding. That hit me so hard.
thanks.
And
bro.
this is going to be a hard thing to say because I know who listens to this podcast, right? But I'm going to try and say it as understanding as I can.
Okay.
The night that I met my last missus,
Yep.
I decided that day, and I said to Luke, I'm like, I'm going to find a girlfriend tonight.
Ah, yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah.
And now we're not together anymore.
Yeah.
Because I realized after a certain point in time, this isn't working out.
That's right, yeah.
But I did also know it wasn't working out a lot longer than before.
But
I
because you
ended
already
it.
made that decision that this is I've made it, you know what I mean? You're kind of making excuses for them, you know, like, oh yeah, but who cares? You know what I mean? This and that. That's what I reckon. Yeah. Anyway.
And that's the idea I had in my head was like, I could fucking get a missus any day I want, which I kind of proved it anyway. Like, it's not really that hard as long as you're willing to put in the work.
That's right.
And be the best version of yourself. It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, was the compatibility what it could have been if I hadn't have decided that day to get a missus and I had have just seen what happens?
That's right.
Maybe not. Maybe we would have never been going out ever. Yeah. That was the way you said that hit me so hard.
I'm glad I could lay down some knowledge.
Well, all right, we need a new question.
Yeah.
Bro.
Next question
Because
is getting too deep.
The answer to the biggest question you've just solved. But that reminds me of this thing Elon Musk said. He said, someone said, what's the meaning to life? And he said, the meaning to life is the question, what is life? The meaning to life is life. We need to find the question to what life is. Life is the answer.
Yes. I've definitely heard this. Yeah, it's a great way he explains it when he's going on about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So that's what he's a big believer. Like, that's almost what laid the groundwork for his philosophy, he reckons. So he read it, and because he reckons when he was like 16, 17, he had like a big midlife crisis, you could say, and he went and he read like all the religious books, religious texts, and he couldn't find anything that gave him a purpose to life. So then he went and read all the philosophers. And then that didn't really give him an actual answer or anything. But then he read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then the way he explains it, I haven't read the book.
I'm going to write that book down.
Yeah, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So the way they explain it is you don't know the question to what is life. Sorry, we're phrasing the question right. Like, what's the answer to the world, to the life, you know what I mean? It's just like life is so complex and the universe is so crazy. It's like we're not asking the right question. It's not what's the point, what's the purpose. That's not even the right question, and we physically can't understand it. So before you get all depressed about what's the point of life, that's the wrong answer. That's the wrong question to ask. You need to find the right question to ask and then ask it, and then once you ask it, then you can fucking make up your mind. But you shouldn't be like, what's the point of life? Oh, there is no point, and then be sad. You know what I mean? It's like it's the wrong question to ask. Yeah. So it's
you
really
said that
cool.
very well. You said that very well.
It's fucked how crazy it is.
But yeah, that's so beautiful. Like the question isn't what's the point.
Yeah, that's right. It's the wrong question to ask.
answer?
Yeah, it's the wrong question to ask. What's the point? What's the point?
The question is what's the question.
Exactly. You need to find the question, and then if you devote your life to finding the question, that's a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you have a
that's
purpose,
like the question is what is the biggest question about the future? Just the fact that it was the biggest question led us to finding out more questions. You know
exactly
what I mean?
right. Just asking the question opened up a whole book of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well said.
That was
well
quite
said.
good.
All right, I love that one. All right, what do you fear about getting older, and what do you not fear about getting older?
What do I fear about getting older as opposed to what I don't fear about getting older? So my biggest fear about getting old would be I would hate to get to a point in my life, say I'm like 60 or 70, and my body is still going, but my mind isn't. That's a big fear for me. Like I see people that are older, even family members and stuff, and like especially my grandnan, she's dead now, sadly, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Like as long as I can remember from a child, she was always like on a ventilator and shit. And that's always sad, you know what I mean? Her mind's active, she wants to get out and stuff. But like it's just anything about getting old would be like, I would hate to have either my body is in good condition but then my mind's not, or my mind's in good condition and my body's not. Either of those options would be pretty shit to me, I reckon. Like that's a big fear, is like I would hate to, like I said, get to 60 and like now I'm a paraplegic somehow or something happened, but like my brain, like imagine being stuck in your body.
Yeah.
Like sitting there thinking all day, and then like everyone means good. They come up to you, hey sweetie, how are you? But it's all like a, you know, because they just think they're talking to a dummy, but you're just there like,
Yeah, in your head, you're
can't
like,
help me out, you know? Like that's a big fear of mine, like for old age, is like I'd hate for it to be cut too short, I suppose, maybe, you know what I mean? Or like be stuck in my own body or be stuck in my own brain. Like either of those would be, I'm sorry, I should turn this on silent.
So I like the ringtone. I like it.
But yeah, it'd be a big fear of being like, cut too short, whether it's like, my brain's not working in my body or my body's not working, but my brain is. Like, it's a pretty big, scary thing. But opposed to that, the good thing about getting older is like, I'm actually pretty excited. Hopefully, fingers crossed, one day I'll find the love of my life, get some kids.
You will.
Get some kids in that, that'd be good. But I'd love to see them. You know what I mean? Like, how crazy would it be? Like, I've always been like the young kid, and I get to, like, I never met my great granddad or anything, or even just my normal granddad. Actually, men kind of die early in my family.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, it's sad. But it'd be nice just to have grandkids, and then like, you know what I mean? So you have kids, they're grown up, they're doing their own thing, and then they come to you and ask you for advice. And like now, like, because I've gone to older people and asked them for advice, but now it's my turn. Like, that's something cool I look forward to. Like, it'd be nice to get to a nice ripe old age and be like, hey, granddad, fucking, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Come here, mate. You know, I've got you. Come under my wing. Like, that's something I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
So I don't think old age isn't like bad enough, and I'm pretty excited for it. Like, it's just a new stage in life.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm learning my lessons, but when I'm 80, I've learnt them, and now I can tell them. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that, but I'm a little bit nervous about the whole, you know, getting trapped. Yeah, getting trapped. You know, because old age is a fickle thing. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think in regards to like wanting to be the granddad and have the grandkids and shit, that's where my whole idea of having 6 kids comes from, because one day I'll be older and my 6 kids are going to have a fuckload of grandkids, and then if I live to be a great grandfather, I'll have an army.
That's right.
I have an army.
You have a Doc's army, bro. And they're all got your last name.
Yeah, they all have my last name, and I can sit one day at a table or a couch or a Christmas fucking bench, and I can see what I have actually created.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
that will, no feeling I can ever chase will be as good as that moment I envision in my head.
You brought all this life. Like, if you didn't do what you did, if you didn't get with your partner or your missus or whoever it is, this life wouldn't exist.
Yeah, and it's even now, like, if I never heard the words of wisdom say that you told me of, don't decide when you want to have a girlfriend, let the universe happen.
That's
all
right.
these little things accumulate to that fucking final product, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why that's why I love life so much, because I'm absorbing it all to get my end goal, and that's my end goal.
Yeah, that'll be such a surreal moment when you're sitting there and you're like, everything I did, good and bad, led me to this perfect moment where I wanted to be. Like,
and I'm going for that moment. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a moment that maybe people don't even notice is happening when it's happening because they've never thought about it. But I'm chasing that fucking feeling. And so one of the fears I have is not having done enough to be proud of. That's a massive fear I have.
Okay.
And that's why it's always do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Don't let a fucking day go by of putting something off. Don't do it tomorrow. Don't fucking do this. I take it as far as like the first thing I do is I make my bed in the morning. That way it gets the day started. I have the fucking cold showers.
It's your first win of the day.
Yeah, I have these things because it's like, not only does it reciprocate a little bit, but I can already start to cut out that fear I can see growing of not doing what I need to have done, and I'm practicing that fucking momentum so it builds up higher. So that's one thing I fear, but the one thing I'm looking forward to, other than the fact of like being older, if I am older and I do what needs to be done now, then I can get rid of that feeling I have now of being fearful that I haven't done enough. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if I get to that stage where I have the army underneath me and I've done my part, it's now at the stage where it's like I'm done. I don't have to continue to strive anymore because I won't feel bad that I didn't strive. I have done it. I have done all the life is. Ted Mosby says it in How I Met Your Mother. says life is a well-cooked meal and old age is the dessert.
Hey,
And that's
a good
for me,
analogy.
That's the feeling of being like, it's all done. You know what I mean? My goals are finished.
No, that is an
accomplished.
exciting feeling, eh? Like, that's a good analogy. I like that. Yeah, it's the dessert because it's like you've had your main meal, now you're eating the dessert. You're enjoying the fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now it's time to indulge.
Yeah, it's time to indulge. Yeah.
Now it's time to put my feet up. Now it's time to reflect.
My battle's over. Now it's my time to guide my children and my grandchildren through the battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then that's my dessert. You know what I mean? I get to. Yeah, I've done it.
Oh, I can't wait. Like that, getting old to me is not a scary thing. Getting old to me...
I used to be a little bit scared of getting old, I suppose, just because I suppose the mind thing, I don't want to get trapped in my own mind and my body's still good or vice versa. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, when you look to like stuff like that, I can't wait to have my own immediate family, and it'd be so great. You know what I mean? It's just like, and then you're the granddad where it's like they just love you. You know? It's like, granddad, what do I do here? You know what I mean? And I'll spoil the fuck out of it. Like I'll spoil the fuck out of my kids and grandkids. Eh? I might not spoil my kids. I might try and teach them good, valuable lessons. That's right. Try and teach them to look after my grandkids. But then as soon as I get grandkids, bro, I'll give them everything.
Yeah, because then it's not your job anymore.
Everything.
It's the parents'
That's
job.
That's exactly right. I'm just like, yeah, give me the kids. I'll feed them everything. I'll give them it all. They can watch the fucking 20,000-inch TV, play PlayStation 7. I love them.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want all day.
Play Staten.
Yeah. Play Staten 7.
Yeah, I know. Old age for me is one of those things that's like, I'm going there. Let's make it as best as possible.
And it's good that we're thinking about this right now. Do you ever get that thought? Like sometimes I go, fuck, I'm so grateful that I'm only 23 and I'm like, fuck, life's short. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like some cunts get to 40 and they go, fuck. Yeah. Life's short. You know what I mean? I've already had that click. Like at like 19, I was like, fuck, I'm going to be 80 one day. Yeah. You know what I mean? At 19, I was like, oh, fuck, I've got 60 years. That's good. Mm-hmm. But like it's good to evaluate how long you've got and appreciate what you've got now. 100%. There's this quote that I heard. I think maybe even Joe Rogan said it or something along the lines. And it's like, or someone that was talking to Joe Rogan. And it's something I'm going to try when I get older. And it's like, if you ever have kids or grandkids and you're getting angry, right? You're getting angry about them or you can't handle it. There's a little bit of overwhelmingness. Just think that you're 80 years old and then this is a memory. You know what I mean? This is a memory of what you were doing. You know what I mean? You'll appreciate it so much more because like, if you're in the moment right now, you're like, fuck, he's being a little cunt, this and that, fucking little asshole. But if you go like, if I'm looking back at this as if I was 80, I'm remembering my kid and he was just being a kid. You know what I mean? It's good to put it into perspective, you know? It's just like, you just need to appreciate what you've got. Even if it is annoying at the moment, it's you appreciate it for what it is. It's a good memory because it's like, it's your family still, you know? So
yeah, that is a good thing to try and put into fruition.
Yeah.
Even if like, you could even do that at our age now. You could even just think to yourself, like, what if this is just a memory? This is something I'll learn from. This is just part of my journey. I needed to go through this in order to get to where I am, where I'm thinking about this now.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a good way to think about it.
All right. Fuck yeah. I love that question.
We're doing good, bro. We're doing good on these. These little questions are getting us places.
These are fucking banging, bro. We won't do... I didn't realise it was 3. All right, so we won't do too much more of these questions. It's already 3.
Okay, we love these questions.
That's crazy. All right,
I could talk all day, to be honest. I was talking to the boys, and I was like, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. And I'm like, bro, once you get past the first 10 minutes, it's just like talking to Jake. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
I was on the phone with someone else today about coming over next weekend to do it. And he's like, bro, I'm telling you, I'm fucking not much of a talker.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be boring.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, now I'm like, just shut up. Like,
yeah, you must be sick of it now after like, cause what podcast is this?
35.
Yeah, so after
this is 36.
So after 36 podcasts, yeah, you're probably like, everyone said the same shit, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you actually said that to me on the phone. You were like, bro, everyone says the same thing.
Yeah,
just come in. We're just gonna have a chat.
Yeah,
we're just gonna have a chat. Yeah. We'll see where it goes.
I'm thinking about it as if like it's just me and you, right? That's all this is. It's just me and you. The idea of the fact that everyone is listening is something that I keep in the back of my mind. But turning it into a show isn't something I do until I edit it. Yeah. So I just enjoy our conversation. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
It is just a normal, good conversation, yeah. At first I was probably thinking about the cameras a little bit, but now it's just like, fuck, I'll just stand here. I'll just say whatever.
Fuck them.
I'll just say some crazy shit.
I'm just going to
I'll just cut that out.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. When do you feel the most free?
When do I feel... in Thailand.
Yeah.
In Thailand. That's what... Nah, okay, so when do I feel the most free? It's a good question.
I know my answer. Fuck yeah, I know my answer. I want to hear yours, but
I probably feel the most free. It's a bit of a hard question, a bit of a weird question, but like, because it's hard to describe free. But like, I probably feel the most free when I am around the boys a little bit. So I mean, as in like, just because I don't give a fuck, if that makes sense. Not in a bad way. I love the boys and I'll do anything for them, but it's like, I'll just tell them whatever. Even if it's a dirty, dark secret that I'm embarrassed about, or if it's something that, like, you know, I smoked too much weed or something, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't, I feel comfortable telling them, but like, if I'm around my parents, I'm not going to tell my parents, like, fuck on the weekend, you know what I mean? You know, so I feel free because I can just say anything and I feel there's no judgment, even if there is a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm just like, who cares? Fuck, it's the boys, you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? They can judge me, who cares? But like, I probably, I would say that because like, I just feel free as in like there's no second thought of like, fuck, I can't tell them that. Can't let that go. You know what I mean? So I feel pretty free.
You got your guard down.
Yeah, guard down. That's freedom to me. Your guard's down sort of thing. So I would say that's my answer.
That's a good answer. Because I was thinking of it from a different perspective.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to stick to my perspective because it gives two different perspectives. I think I feel the most free every single Sunday night because I've finished the episode. Like I've edited the video and it's posted, and it's like for the whole week it's been like, I need to put in a little bit more time to it. I need to put in a little bit more time, and then I get too stuck on doing one thing for a while, and I'm just thinking, fuck, I got to get back and do that. I'm not going to have enough time.
So when it's finally done,
and I just
like
upload. I click upload. I'm like,
a big weight lifted off your shoulders.
And that's it. It's all done. I don't have to stress. I stuck to that fucking consistency, but it doesn't last very long because by the time I wake up on Monday morning, I have to have planned the next one. I have to have hit up the next people for 3 weeks in advance. I have to have chased you up, texted you the address, made sure you're all good, set up, make sure it's all, you know,
the drinks beforehand. Make sure
everything. It's as soon as I press done, it's uploaded. Yeah, the whole feeling builds up again of the fucking stress, but I'm free for that night. You know, done. I get to go to work and I get to just be
all I got to think about is work.
Nice. Stress free. Yeah, every other night it's fuck, man, fuck. God, I gotta get out of here on time tonight. I gotta fucking do this, do that. Sunday nights for me is the best night, and it's every week. Every week.
So you get that little bit of euphoria every week. You're like, oh, it's done. I'm free. You ascend to another level. You're like, yes.
That's it. I press upload. I levitate out of my chair. And I just float down the stairs, bro.
Then you
into my car.
Then you go to sleep. Wake up Monday, straight back down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. All right. Well, I liked your answer too. Will I say this one? Is this a good question? I'm gonna ask it anyway. How do you know when you are deeply connected to someone?
Just anyone, like deeply connected to someone. How do you know you're deeply connected to them? I find you probably know you're deeply connected to them when you start to think alike, I feel. So
like an inside joke kind of things,
yeah,
or like you
big
know
thing,
what they're
inside
thinking.
joke, or even if like just something like it's like a feeling you've just like smoothed with it, you know what I mean? Or even if it's something as simple as like fucking just, it's like communication without talking. I know I do this with Zach a lot actually, like fucking you know what he wants and I know what I want and he knows what I want, so you don't even say it, you just do it. You know what I mean? Like maybe an example, it's probably a bad example, but the other night we're playing Monopoly Cheaters Edition. And fucking it just felt like it was like a nice smooth rhythm. He was like, oh, you owe me this much. So I gave him say it was 180 or something, so I gave him the 200, and before I even handed him the 200, he saw me grab the 200, and then as I'm giving it to him, he's already given me the 20, and we haven't said a word yet, you know what I mean? He just looked at me, and he's like, showed me the card, like 180, and I'm like, 200, already give me the 20. It's like you don't have to speak to know what you're thinking almost.
Yeah, it's a good example too. I like that example. But yeah, that's a good answer, because I love that. I said this with the podcast with Zach. Fossey, I just said to him one day, like, we were talking about food, and I'm like, bro, I'm not even going to say anything. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh.
Yeah, you just
like,
click
yeah, Yeah, that was fucked.
It's
You know?
it's nice when like you don't need the words to already be on the same like thought train. You know what I mean?
It's
good.
like it's like when you see someone do something and then two people look at each other and they don't say anything.
Yes, that's a big one, eh? Yeah. You see something together, you both witness it, and then you don't need to say anything, you just look, and that looks enough. That little,
It's a
you saw
million
that.
words.
It's just, you saw that,
Yeah.
It's good, eh? Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good connection. That's when you connected to someone, when you're like, you don't have to speak, you kind of just already on the same vibe. You know what I mean? So you're already just like, let's
I
roll
agree.
with it.
I think that too. I think another one would be when you see someone and no matter how long it's been, it's still the exact same.
And then
as
you
it was
just
the last time.
straight back up, just talking as if you never left each other. Yeah, that's a good one.
I get that most podcasts I do, like especially with the skate dogs. So far, it's been Alex is going to be the same. He's obviously going to be the exact same.
Fuck, Alex is going to be it.
But like when I see you boys, it's just the same as it was when I met you. Fucking would have been 7 years ago. to be
Yeah, it's
honest
been a
with you.
while now.
It was a long
yeah.
time ago. Yeah, at least 6 years ago since I met you.
Yeah, I don't know. When do you reckon the first time we met was?
I was thinking about this today. I was thinking I didn't even know you guys before. I didn't know you before I was 18. I didn't know you after I didn't meet you after I was 18. It was probably when I was 18. Because when I first met you, not everyone could go out clubbing. So you boys.
Well, I'm pretty
weren't
sure.
even
Yeah, that
allowed.
would have been it was myself, Zach, and Alex. We were always the youngest.
Yeah.
We were always So we all probably would have been 17 because you're not born 1999 or
8.
98. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're actually 2 years older than me. I'm born in 2000. Your camera just went off.
Let's just change that.
Yeah. You know, one more pee break. Fucking drink on the toilet once, eh?
I'm fucking king of holding it, mate. I'm the king of holding a piss.
Just got used to it, eh?
Yeah, I always
You're
have
just
to
like
piss.
at all times I need to piss.
Yeah. To be honest, I completely forgot what we were up to. Let's just pull up the app and see if it reminds me. Oh yeah, how do you know when you're deeply connected to someone? I think it's exactly that. When you fucking see them again, no matter how long it's been, and you're back where you were last time. That's a deep connection.
It'd probably be good. You feel a lot of that on the podcast, eh? Everyone that comes in, just straight off the bat.
Yeah. I try not to talk about it too often because I say it on every pod, but I fucking love it. I fucking love doing it. And it's not just the fact of everyone who watches, like, they tell me, like, great episode. Like, some people call me up and they say, how funny was this? Like, this and that. It's the fucking, I get to see you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's been ages since I've seen you.
It's true, eh? And it's all together. It merges as one feeling, you know what I mean? I haven't seen him in long, and now I get to see him, and everyone's talking about what I was talking about with them.
Yeah.
It would be an amazing feeling, I can imagine.
With the Zach one, it was just normal back and forth, like perfect, like this. It's just like we are. But then when I went back and edited it, I finally got to take in what he was saying sometimes, and like I nearly cried. Like I was just like, I sat there. So shout out to you, Zach. Like shout out to you. But when he was saying things, like he said, when I listen to you, I see the connection that you have with your friends, and like I hear the questions they're asking. He's getting so deep in shit. It makes me want to go talk to my friends and say the same kind of things.
Wow,
and gets that, and he's like, so I appreciate the way you've taught me to be a better friend to my friends. And I'm just like, and when I watched it back, I'm just like, get fucked. Even thinking about it now, I was like, I feel that fluster come back, and it's like, it makes me blush 100%.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because like that's not even a goal. Like that's not what I'm trying to do at all. Just by being me, I guess I can see that it's actually being beneficial for other people. So like the podcast is the best thing I've ever done, 100%, hands down to this day. Better than starting my apprenticeship, better than anything I've ever done.
Yeah, right.
Starting the podcast, the
It's
greatest
going good,
decision.
man. It looks great. I love your setup and everything.
This is
and
just the start.
it feels good to be included as well. You know, it's
Yeah.
nice. I love what you're doing.
I always knew you boys were going to come on. Always knew.
Yeah.
Always. You wait until we finish the pod and I tell you about what's about to happen downstairs.
Oh shit! Oh,
Wow.
not for camera's eyes. That's just for
the
me.
Cameras, yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll do one more. We'll do one more.
Yeah, no rush.
I hate having to do this, but we have to do this. So I'll find a good one. Oh fuck yeah! This is actually a good one because this can go on for a bit.
Here we go. I'm ready. Hit me.
Do faith and facts contradict one another?
I'm glad this didn't come up with you and Josh.
Yeah.
Faith and fact, do they contradict each other? I don't know. So, it depends on the question. Do you mean like just faith in general, or do you mean like
Just faith in general.
Just faith in general, or is it's not like
Because faith is a
obviously
belief.
like what's written, you know?
Faith is a belief, and a belief has no facts.
Yeah. But I mean,
No,
if there's a
can
fact,
have
right? But if you
facts.
have a fact, do you not believe in it?
That's not belief. That's a completely different word. A belief is something that can't be proven. You can have prerequisite into like things like, say, you have a belief that you're going to win because you've won every one so far.
Yeah.
Like that you have faith
Yeah,
in the
but
fact
that's
that you're
not
going to win.
guaranteed. That's belief. That's
But-
faith.
So you
yeah.
can have facts to build up your faith, but can they do they contradict one another? And the easiest faith example would be spirituality and things like that, and facts would be science. So do you think they overlap?
I do then. Yeah, I would say, yeah. They do contradict each other quite a lot. I mean, but who's to say what's real and what's not?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said before, like I'm not a very religious person, but like at the same time, I don't really want to, I don't want to like shit on it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
like that type. Like I'm more of like, I'm not religious at all. I'm just like, I believe in like, be good and good things happen to you. That's why I kind of like karma. I don't believe in karma. Like that's just something, whatever. But it's like, I definitely believe if you're good into the world, good's going to come to you. You know what I mean? I live my life by that example. Like I've never fucking like stolen from someone. Like someone, like I've stolen from like stores when I was a
of
kid and
course,
shit.
you
Who hasn't?
should have.
You know what I mean? But
You
like I've
should
never
have.
like stolen from my mates, obviously. I've never like snitched on my mates or, you know, and I feel like that shit just like you do good onto the world and it kind of comes back to you. Like I've never had a bad situation where someone's fucking snitched on me or fucking stolen from me. So I was like, yeah, I don't really believe in faith because facts definitely come up. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, fucking, because like Christians believe, you know, Jesus is white. It's like, mate, he's fucking Arabic. He
Yeah.
fucking lives in Iraq. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
cunt was brown. You know what I mean? So that, you know, they do contradict each other, but
Well, I think that the answer would be yes. Facts contradict faith. If your faith is based on a religious text and your only faith is to believe everything that religious text
exactly.
has to
See,
say.
that's what I'm not a big fan of. I don't believe everything just because it says it on this book. You know what I mean? Like, what if someone lied on the book or so if it's mistranslated or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, my opinion on faith has grown so much. Being someone who was once considered to be non-believer, to Christian, to Buddhist for a little bit, tried that, but then like
Been
always
around, huh?
stuck with being stuck with Christianity and continuing that to be my root of my faith. It doesn't mean I believe I'm not a Christian.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of Christianity. I like the
I'm
main
more in-
principles.
I'm more inclined to believe someone that doesn't believe in one thing. Because how can you believe in one thing? How can how can your God be real, but then these 1,000 other gods aren't?
Yeah, Ricky Gervais says this. He says, I'm an atheist. I don't
I've
believe
heard
in a
this exact
god.
thing on TikTok.
I'm an atheist. I don't believe in a god. All I do is I don't believe in one more god than you.
Yeah, exactly right. But
Out of
it's
the
so
thousands
true.
of gods.
It's so true, you know what I mean? So, like, that's why it's a bit hard, you know? That's why faith contradicts facts and shit, because, you know what I mean? Like, you can't shut down all these other gods and believe in one, you know what I mean? That's why I don't really believe in gods and stuff. I mean, I hope. I hope, you know, fucking. Amen.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're up there looking after me. I mean, nothing's bad happened to me yet, so you're definitely looking after me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a very big believer enough, and also like I think a big thing was that is like I know my mum was. Well, I think she is still religious. She goes to church and that. But like I found a lot of time, especially growing up in like Queensland, in like Warwick is where I used to live, a small town.
I did not know that well.
Yeah, I grew up
did
in
not know
Queensland.
you
Yeah, I
lived
was
in
born
there.
in Nepean, and then like when I was 3, I moved to Queensland, and then lived there till I was like 11.
Okay.
So yeah, and in this small town, everyone's a fucking crack addict because there's nothing to do but fucking do drugs. So it's either you're a crack addict or you're a Christian. Literally, shit, you're not. And I don't know, I found like it was like they both went to those two different options for the same reason: boredom. And they had nothing else to believe in, had nothing else to do. So it was either whether you go split to Christian. Like I don't believe you shouldn't believe in a religion just because it's there. You know what I mean? You should actually find a reason to be there. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just because I'm bored or it's like I don't want to die. That's the worst thing. If someone believes in heaven just because they're afraid to die, are you really religious, or are you just having a back door? You're having an exit plan. You know what I mean? Like if someone's religious because they feel the love of God and they just want to be good and do good, I feel like that's more powerful than someone who's like, I just don't want to go to hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's like what a lot of religion was, like especially back in the day, like BC, before Christ and shit. Like the only reason you had religion was because like if you didn't, fucking the only reason you had religion was because this king wanted you to fight for his war, and if you fight in his army you go to heaven, and if you fight for the Mongolian army you go to hell. You know what I mean? So like it was like a manipulation, whereas like nowadays there's obviously less wars and shit, and like it's more like people just find it on their own accord. That's why it's less popular nowadays. But yeah, I don't think people should be finding faith just as an option, you know what I mean, because they don't want to go to hell. Oh, I better be Christian then, you know what I mean? It's better if you somehow come to that conclusion on your own accord, and you're like, I don't care if I go to heaven or hell, I just want to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's I think that the idea of hell is obviously implemented into human nature as a form of control. I can't argue with that fact.
I agree, yeah, 100%.
I believe that Jesus Christ was a real person who really walked this earth. I believe he had a mass following. I believe that he may have performed some things that were considered to be miracles. Like, that is the side of the fence that I'm happy to sit on with the unknown. But I do believe that every prophecy and prophet from the whole Bible was a real event that happened in real history. I think it's been exaggerated. It's a game of Chinese whispers by that point.
Exactly.
The flood from Noah's Ark is a story from 13,000 years ago in the Younger Dryas impact era.
Yeah.
Like, it's been adjusted to be two of every animal. It's been adjusted to be the entire world flooded and there was nothing but ocean. You know, everything's been adjusted. But I think in real faith, I think that to believe in a religion, you're almost more closed-minded than someone who doesn't. You know, people who are religious consider themselves to be open-minded. If you're an atheist, you're closed-minded. You don't have the answer. But to think you have the answer is so closed-minded.
I agree completely. 100%, right?
The answer is the question, as we were discussing earlier.
Exactly. It comes back to it.
Yeah.
That's right.
You can't assume you have the answer because you don't even have the question you need to get the answer. So how can you believe that the Bible is your answer into... But here's the tricky part. It is the answer. All right. Here's the difficult thing about the Quran. It is the answer. It's the difficult thing about Hinduism, traditional practice that is to burn scented candles every morning to let the fucking sacrifice, to drop a little bit of food into an offering basket. Like, all these things are the answer, but none of them are the only answer. They're a answer. We need to find the question, and the question is, how do all of these end up being the answer? And I think that facts contradict things like a set answer, but they don't contradict the question that we're looking for. And that's how can everyone believe in the one united power of love and afterlife and sharing and community and offering and do good unto others, to say other good can be done to you, treat people the way you want to be treated, the law of attraction, fucking all these things, like asking you shall receive, and fucking like there's obviously a fucking baseline there that every human feels. And that's, I think it's to do with love. I think it's to do with
But that's the best thing about religion. Like, I'm not trying to knock everything about religion. Like, a big thing about all religions, I think, I'm not very reversed in all religions, but at least Christianity is like, it's about love. Love thy neighbor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is a big thing, I reckon. You know what I mean? You should put love out into the world and hopefully receive love. So there are a lot of things in religion that I reckon you can learn from. They teach a lot of good lessons, but then there are some of their faiths that are contradicted by fact. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and then it's like, anyone who is willing to take a book so precise and serious, I believe is wrong. Like, I don't think it's wrong to think that. I think they're wrong, because it says things like in the Old Testament that they've proven to be scientifically...
Well, that in itself, right? There's an Old Testament and a New Testament and amended like prophecies and stuff. So like...
It's been rewritten. I've seen a video once. It was like 1,000 times, the Bible. It's been rewritten that many times.
And also it's been converted in languages like 3-4 times. You know what I mean? Because like the first ever... Like all the... So...
It comes from...
I could be wrong. I'm not...
The book of scroll... Some scroll...
No, yeah, they open like a bunch of tombs all around, like Saudi Arabia, so, you know, Iraq sort of thing, all around there. So it's not like they all came from one tomb. They came from multiple different tombs all around the place, written by different people, and then they collected them all, and then they transcribed them, and then once they transcribed them, because transcribe them means they were on these old scrolls that were holy, so we just filled in the blanks.
Yeah.
So they've transcribed them, then they've given them to like a French guy, and then he's fucking written it in French, and then that's become the Bible. And then now they're like, well, fuck, what about England? Let's fucking rewrite it from French into English.
And then they're obviously
And
going
now
to
you've
have
got-
their power plays, and they're going to need to incorporate their own values, and just, you know what I mean? It's just a game of Chinese whispers, bro, religion. That's all it is. But the fundamental belief is the same across every religion.
It's true.
So faith is a higher power, no matter what pathway you choose to fucking follow that higher power. And I don't think facts can ever change the fact that you have faith, because all facts do is prove that there has to be a higher power. Like, the more we look into things, the more complex they get. The more you fucking start to work out things like, these plants are giving their nutrients to these things to help these grow so they can absorb sunlight and create a little shelter for this frog. Everything, you're getting all the facts. But where, you know what I mean? Like, you have
Why
to
did
have
it do
faith
that?
as to how the fuck that happens, not just why. Like, I don't think facts will contradict faith. I think facts will contradict religion.
Facts almost, just going off what you just said, facts almost describe faith. Like you just said, like how amazing it is that life is even on this planet, and then it took millions of years just for this frog to be able to fucking ribbit and eat flies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a fact that's happened, and does that not lead you to believe like, oh fuck, well, who did that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it almost kind of,
Not just who,
how it happened.
Not just how. Why isn't the right question. How isn't the right question. It's almost like we need another word, bro, isn't it?
well, yeah.
Who isn't the right question, because who did it? The plant did it. Who did it? The sun. Who did that? We know who.
And we know why they did it, to survive.
Why is to survive. How, we know how.
Yeah.
What, we know what. We don't have the missing piece.
But that's back to what we've originally said. We're not asking the right question.
Yeah.
You don't know the question to ask because it's not even fathomable. So
There's one more thing, bro, that everything is trying to describe. It's the missing part of life, you know? And I think the answer that people use is the word God. God is the missing piece to every equation. That's why the Bible is the right question, because you have now got the answer. That's why, I don't know. I believe that to be true. I believe that God is the answer because it fills in every question, you know? And it makes sense. To me, it makes sense anyway. If you say, like, how are me and you able to communicate in such a level that is so, like, understanding of one another, even though we have our own completely separate lives? I have no idea what's really happening inside your head, or even if you even see me as me. You could see me as a fucking complete alienoid species. I don't know that.
yeah,
But I'm assuming, and like same vice versa, we have this understanding on one another without any idea of what it's like to be one another. And I think God is, you can't argue it to be an answer. You can't argue it, because all that word is to me is the missing piece of a puzzle. You know, it's just that, I don't know if that's making sense.
yeah. No, it is. It is making a bit of sense, because it's like, he is like, because there is something like we're just trying to find. It's not how, it's not what, you know what I mean? It's because, you know, because why, you know, because what, you know, is it because God, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's fucking definitely a big question.
Because what opened my mind to that was the fact that all these religions, like the Nordic religion, who especially, it's a good example in the show Vikings, when Ragnar was finally getting killed by the king, fucking whatever he was like, we are believing the same God. I believe in Nordic my whole life, and now I'm a Christian.
Made me cry, eh?
Yeah.
I've seen that, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
it was
these
like,
are all silly.
but now I'll never get to see. Oh, sorry, maybe I'm misconcepting. I remember, sorry to cut you off a little bit, but it was like a video of like Viking, that exact show, where I think he's Ragnar, and he's like, is it like a Christian monk that he hangs out with all the time?
Yeah, Appelstein was the guy who he got his religious faith off, but he ended up dying before he died.
But I remember seeing like the scene there, and it was so emotional, because he's like, fucking, what am I gonna do now? You're gone to your God's heaven, and your God will never let me see you again. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just random.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
I remember that brought up emotion. I remember seeing that scene. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
But that makes sense until you decide you have the answer. It made sense that they're going to heaven. He believes that. Believes that they go to heaven. And now he's made up his own answer, which is we're never going to see each other. That's where I think you're wrong, because you've decided what the answer is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the big thing is we don't really know the answer at all. At all.
We don't know the answer, but I think what we feel is true. I don't believe that we could be wrong. I just can't understand how we all feel the same things. And that's in a belief, you know what I mean? It's a want. Like, what would be the point in wanting an afterlife if there was no afterlife? Why would we have the idea? Why would it be possible for us to think of things like that if there was never a thing to begin with? We are only possible of thinking what is possible. It's like when you dream, you never think of things you never think of someone in your dream that you've never seen in reality. You ever heard that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, even if you see someone in your dream that you don't remember, it's because you've taken faces from people you've met, like strangers, and merged them together.
Yeah.
So everything you picture in your mind, you've seen before.
Yeah, and it's like your brain is constantly working on what is a plausible explanation for things, like, you know what I mean? But then you have an afterlife. Why is it possible that we can think of shit like that? Like, there has to be something there.
I don't know. I don't know if it has to be something there. I feel like it's like we all just kind of gravitate to peace of mind, you know? No one wants to die. Because, like, what does every living creature have in common?
Survive.
Well, they have to survive, but everything they have in common is they're going to die. So maybe that's why we all think that. It's because the one thing we all have in common is we're going to die. And the one thing everyone, like you said, everyone's thinking about, every living thing's thinking about survival. So what's survival mean? You're scared of dying. You're trying to not die. So maybe an off branch of that is like, well, if I do die, you know. Yeah, but
it doesn't even explain everything, because then if just the idea and peace in mind would stop every living creature from wanting to survive.
You're right, actually. That's true. You're right. If just that peace of mind would be like, why do I need to survive? I may as well just die and go to heaven straight away. You're right. Yeah.
There's obviously something to do with striving while you're alive to reap the benefits afterwards. Otherwise, what's the point of, like, if you've already come to terms with the fact that you're going to die, that's it. What's the point of being alive?
Yeah. Well, that's what I kind of take from it is, like, I don't really believe in an afterlife, like we've been saying, but it's like, so why would I be good now? Is because it's like, because this is heaven. This is as good as it gets. You got to live your best life now. You can either live in hell on earth, or you can give out good and receive good. You know what I mean? I kind of like to think of it. There isn't. I don't think there's an afterlife, really, personally, because I kind of think, like, do you remember the second before your eyes opened when you were born?
I don't, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there.
It's true. I mean, like, again, I don't know all the answers, but at the same time, like, you don't remember before you were born. I feel, in my belief, that what was before I was born is what's after I'm dead. That's what I kind of believe. So I think we've got now and now only to do what we want with. And I think, anyway, what's the point of doing something bad with it? Why would you not love life and love people and try and get the best experience out of what you got here? Try and live heaven on earth. You know what I mean? Love everyone, love thy neighbor, fucking be good and get good back to you.
And
I think that's a lot better than to think, oh, I'm just going to go to heaven, so I don't really need to be.
I think, of course, you're right about that. But in saying that, just because you don't remember everything that was before you, it could, like, doesn't mean it didn't exist, right? Because you were originally a sperm on the ultimate race to fucking try and get to the center core. You don't remember that. You don't remember the feeling of being your dad, creating you inside of him. You don't remember that, but it doesn't mean it wasn't there. When you die, I'm not saying you're going to remember being alive, but that doesn't mean there isn't going to be an afterlife where you go. You know what I mean? Like, to believe we're at the final stages is kind of ludicrous, because there's been so many stages beforehand that we just don't remember. So then, but to think that we might not remember it is understandable. Just because our soul leaves our body doesn't mean we're going to be able to remember being me and fucking constantly be in heaven with all the people I know and literally be myself as a humanoid figure. But I could be now part of there's one religion that my mate Adam was telling me about, where when you die, your consciousness either goes to the good side or the bad side, and how you live your life depends on whether it goes to the good side or the bad side. With no memory, you just join one, and that's what carries on earth. Well, I think that's a mad religion. That makes sense. You know, I just think the idea of there not being anything else just doesn't make sense to me, bro. I can't explain it.
It's odd. I don't know. It kind of makes that, honestly, it makes sense to me. There's being nothing. It makes more sense than there being something, because it's easy to explain nothing. You know, it's hard to explain something you can't see, feel, or test for, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why I go, it's nothing.
Yeah. It's the fucking
It's
question,
just that
bro.
it's easier.
It's the question.
It's a fucking deep question.
I know. But I do think, and even then, I don't even know if when I die, I'll know there's an afterlife.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Even if there is one.
Or even like you're saying, you might be in the afterlife, but you don't remember that you're Jake Doxy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't remember all these neurological fucking connections that make your memory. It's just your soul now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Your afterlife could literally just be the thought of you existing. Because you probably heard the quote, you die twice, once when you leave your body and once when no one ever remembers you.
That's a good quote.
Like, that could be your afterlife. The impact you have on everyone else for the rest of you.
You're kind of living through other people's experiences of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's
Because
a cool
in reality, we're so self-centered. We think that this world is for us. We're just trying to fucking figure it all out on an individual level. But there's an entire world without me. You know what I mean? What I really am is my feeling to everyone else has about me. How I feel about myself is kind of irrelevant. All I am is what everyone perceives me to be. Like, it's a weird way to think about it, but it's kind of true. So in that sense, then I will live as long as everyone I know remembers me. And that could be the fucking answer, bro. I don't know. I'm just trying to work it out. Eh?
We're all just on this spinning rock trying to figure it out. Eh?
I hear me speaking and I'm like, that's it. This is it. And then as soon as I finish, I'm like, oh, you got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the way I feel too. I'm explaining shit to you and then I go, wait, I don't really know. I'm just spouting shit. Yeah.
But I feel like every conversation I have helps me out helps me figure it out.
Yeah, talking's good. You know, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Talk about it. You might come to a realization. You know, something you haven't thought about before.
Yeah. There's aha moments.
Yeah,
I live for them. Bro.
I love them, mate.
Especially when I'm reading a book every now and then, like, I go, get fucked. Like, I think of something from 10 years ago. I'm like, holy shit, that makes sense.
It's so good, when like you've got a memory of something that you know and you understand, but you don't know why. And then 10 years later, you read something or you watch something and you're like, oh, that's fucking why. Oh, it all makes sense. You're like so happy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happens when we die, bro. We'll die and we go, oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that theory where it's like you die and you kind of come to in a spaceship surrounded by aliens and you're holding a billy and you're like, fuck, dude, hit a Jake.
Oh, yeah, imagine that. Yeah, imagine that. You wake up like, fuck, bro, I was a human.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be so cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Honestly, we could go on it forever. I love theories, bro. I love ideology. It's the fucking greatest thing of all time.
It's good.
It's the reason why I'm here, bro. Just to fucking try and figure it out. Yeah. I've got a million of them just bouncing
Figuring
around.
it out's the part, that's the meaning to life. Figuring it out.
Yeah, there we go. That is the meaning. The meaning is to find the question. Beautiful. I love it. Oh, well, I have one more final question, actually, that I do ask everyone that comes on. And it is just a piece of advice in case anyone listening needs to hear it. And that's, what would you say to someone if they came to you for advice because they were feeling depressed, mostly because they were feeling lost?
Fuck, that's deep.
Oh, we're on deep questions.
Yeah. What would I say to someone who came to me feeling depressed or lost? Fuck. I don't know. I mean, we kind of all do, right? We're all lost. I mean, maybe not all depressed, but it's just how you look at the world. Like, we're definitely all lost. Like I was saying just before, we're all just on a spinning rock trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid to be lost. It's just a part of life. You know what I mean? And even like now, especially now, like relating to us, we're only fucking 25, 24, 23. Like, if you're depressed or you're lost now, like, fuck, don't worry about it. Like, 20 years now, you could have everything. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know, like, this thing that could be looming over you, making you fucking like, fuck, I don't know. You're so unsure about it. 10 years down the track, you're like, oh, fuck, that was obvious. I figured it out. You know what I mean? That was obvious. Like, just because you're feeling one way now, shouldn't, you know, I mean, you could feel better later on. You know what I mean? Just wait and see. That's my advice. Just wait and see, please. Just wait and see. Like, life's a fucking tough battle, but if it was any other way, it wouldn't be worth living. You know what I mean? Something that Josh said on the podcast is, if you don't feel your lowest lows, you never feel your highest highs. That's just something I really like. Like, if you don't experience depression and sadness and loss, you'll never feel the euphoria of being found and knowing the answer. You know what I mean? So even if you're right now, you're sad, you're lost, everyone's been there, everyone. But it doesn't mean you're always going to be like that. And you should just hold on, and if not for you, for everyone you love as well. You know what I mean? Hold on and you'll find your way through it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Even if that tunnel goes for fucking 600 Ks and it's fucking, you're cold and it's dark and you're hungry, you'll get to the end. Yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I think you said it perfectly. And you kind of made me remember something you said earlier, and that's just, if you're thinking about it as a memory, then you've already figured it all out.
That's right, yeah. Think about, if you're ever in a shit, time, think about it as you're remembering it, as you're an 80-year-old remembering it, going, fuck, oh well, that was that time, I got past it. Or if that, actually, you might even be like, I needed to be in that bad set of mind to lead me down this path, which led me to greatness. You know what I mean? Don't ever think you're doomed, basically. Like, even if you're in a bad situation, why does that mean you're doomed? It's the law of the world to put you through shit, and it's how you fucking deal with that shit what makes you who you are. You know what I mean? You're going to be such a stronger person if you are going through a bad time and come out the other end, as opposed to not. You know what I mean?
100%.
As opposed to, like, if you've gone through something bad and you've gotten past it, you're such a better person than someone who's never been through anything in their life. You know what I mean? You've got more life lessons. You feel more sure about yourself. So I would say there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And just talk to someone, bro.
I almost feel like when depression is kind of like a pre-feeling to what's about to become greatness. Because true growth is when you realize you're tired of your own shit. So it's not like you're ever going to have a drastic moment of life-changing shit without first realizing that you're not happy where you are. So I almost look at depression now on a linear scale of like, yep, this is the feeling I have to have before I start making some decisions that I could feel fucking proud of. You know, I kind of am grateful for moments of depression, because now every time I feel that thing, it's like, all right, I'm feeling a bit shit today. So that means that something crazy is going to happen soon, you know? Let's work towards whatever that crazy shit is.
Let's get towards the good then, Yeah. It's a good way to look at it, It's like, it leads you to your next great moment.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm sorry we have to wrap it up. I always hate doing this.
Yeah, I can fucking continue talking, mate. Let's just do a 10-hour podcast.
I know. I'll show you downstairs my plan for what's going to happen in the future.
Will do.
And I really appreciate your time, bro. Thank you for the episode. It's been a mad episode.
Beautiful, bro. No, thank you for having me. I've had a great time. Like I said, I was a little bit nervous at first, but now, like, it's just having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
You know? It's just fucking great shit.
Beautiful. All right, beautiful. Well said.
See you, boys.
That's all right.
Shawty catch a vibe, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stunt.